Do not worry.
Well, howdy, folks. Welcome to a brand new episode of Do Not Worry, episode number 155. I'm your host, Anthony, coming to you from the heart of Lebanon, joined by the crew, Nour, and meeting for the first time, folks, Elijah.
Hello.
Elijah was actually our first hire. He was the first intern on the podcast. He's been away for a couple of months. He works behind the scene. He does all of our editing, well, most of our editing. But it's his first time on camera in front of our new audience.
My working schedule has been chaotic, hectic, and fucked up, but I'm back.
He's back, baby. He's back.
For now.
And let us know if you guys like his hoodie. You know, if you guys are watching, you like his hoodie. Would you guys be interested in some Do Not Worry merch? All of our new fans living abroad, maybe I can work something out, get some merch on a website that you guys can order. Let us know if you're interested. We'd be happy to do that. We have some sample merch for ourselves. We got a lot to talk about this week, folks. The ceasefire is hanging by a thread. Israel has been attacking Lebanon. Zionist movies like Gladiator 2 and Venom 3 are banned in Lebanon, so we're going to talk about that. We're introducing our new audience to Dr. Food with Nour's special slideshow that she's been working on for the past few days. Ethan Klein is still losing his mind, and I actually managed to interview friend of the show, Bad Empanada, so look forward to that interview near the end of the show. And Americans are still losing their minds over all this trans stuff, so we're going to talk about that and a lot more. So join us for this fun episode. And let me just take a second to thank some of our brand new patrons to the channel, abductee patrons like Saz and Daphne Morris, blonde patrons like John Ajaka, Haley Davis, and Cole Dew and Morgie, and superhero patron Bonnie Buns. And we got a brand new YouTube member, Tangerine Hikreen or Hisreen. I'm not sure how to say your last name. Thank you for joining us. We're going to hopefully have a small Patreon exclusive clip at the end of this episode for our patrons and our YouTube members. And I said that last week, but I'm going to be definitely organizing a call for everyone this week. It's been a crazy past couple of days. I interviewed Bad Empanada on Monday. I was a guest on the BadHasbara podcast yesterday. So you guys are going to be watching that on Thursday. So the podcast is already out if you want to go check it out. We're going to talk about that in a little bit more. But it's been a very busy couple of days. I've been making new friends on YouTube, folks. So it's been a lot of fun. Thank you to our amazing patrons. And let me take a second to just thank our God tier patrons. Rifat Fakih, Elia Al-Mujabir, Jessica Ann, Jax Lehman, Sisu Hayek, Dominic Selzer, and Tamara Isa. We love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. And I'll thank some more of our patrons a little bit later on the show. If you guys want to support this channel, the best way to do so is on Patreon. So check out the link in the description. Pick a tier that's right for you. It's the only way to keep the show going. It's the only way that I can pay the interns. So we really appreciate you. So like I mentioned, stay tuned to the end of the episode. I did an interview with Bad Empanada on Monday. We had a fun chat. So I cut it down and it's available for you guys at the end of the episode. A lot of you guys asked for me to collaborate with him, and he's a super nice dude. So I hope you guys enjoy that conversation later in the show. And just first, you guys have met Nour, you guys have met Karine, you guys have met Nadim. It's time to introduce you guys.
You have not met.
You've not met Elijah. So like I said, he was our first hire. He does our editing. And Elijah actually has his own YouTube channel. Talk about that a little bit. It's called Absurd Guru. You do gaming. He does it in Arabic. So if you guys are English viewers, you might not be able to watch it right now.
Sorry.
But you might have to start subbing or doing it in English. I mean, who knows?
As with the Spanish dub you mentioned.
Spanish dubs, right? Yeah. So yeah, what do you do on YouTube? What's your YouTube channel
It started
about?
off on Instagram and TikTok, so I'm kind of a content creator. A word Anthony hates. And now I'm segueing into like YouTube gaming, so yeah.
So if you like Elijah here, try go support him on his own YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Give him some support. Also, I just want to give a shout out to Lizzie, one of our patrons, an incredible Lizzie. I wish Lizzo was it, but honestly, Lizzie is a better patron than I think Lizzo would ever be.
Did you see the South Park episode?
With Lizzo?
With Lizzo?
I'm not sure, actually.
It's basically, they made her a medical, pharmaceutical product for diarrhea.
Oh, no way. Oh, I think I remember. Yeah. So here is so Lizzie, not only did he make us a fantastic track last week that we're going to listen to again in just a couple of seconds because I love that track. It's our new outro clip, our new outro track. This is the Clips channel, so please go subscribe to it. It is Do Not Worry Clips unofficial. It's got 21 subscribers as of now. Lizzie's been going crazy, dropping like 2-3 clips a day. He's doing God's work. This is the work that I'm too lazy to do. So Lizzie, thank you so much. We can't thank you enough. You're such a cherished member of this community.
How generous.
Amazing,
Really?
dude. Amazing. And he asked me, like, do you want me to do this? I was like, no, I don't want you to do anything that's unpaid. Like, please don't. And he's doing it anyways.
Yeah,
So-
it's incredible.
So Lizzie, just to celebrate, please go subscribe to the Clips channel. I've subscribed to it. It's truly amazing. And just to celebrate Lizzie a little bit more, let's just play some of his track. This starts at 1 minute and 40 seconds, Elijah. Let's just enjoy some of this beautiful, beautiful outro track. part's coming up soon.
Goes so hard.
I shit you not, the last 3 episodes, I've listened to this right before we start recording. It gets me in the right mood. I'm usually always stressed the fuck out before we record. This is such a bop. I fucking love it.
This a good 3 times before recording.
Yeah, dude.
Now.
So, and I wanted to play it again, and this is our outro track. I love it. So, Lizzie, thank you so much. I love this community. So, we can move on. Sorry, guys. Also, we've got some housekeeping to do. I mentioned the last episode that I have a comic book business called The Comic Stash. I also talked about multiverse games and the fact that their shop almost got blown up, along with my entire comic book collection and Hamada right before the ceasefire ended. So I just wanted to let you know that on December 14th, so that's like not the coming Saturday, next Saturday, I'm going to be in Brumana at a lovely little event called Mystic Market. Here is the poster. There's going to be music and drinks, a bunch of art vendors, little stands with like very cool gifts, unique interactive booths, tattoos, piercings, tooth gems, and I'm going to be there repping The Comic Stash, folks, slinging some vintage comics like I used to. I haven't done this in years, folks. Like, this event has gotten me out of retirement, and there's a bunch.
Your logo stands out.
It's a big ass logo, I know. Well, I got a connection with the organizer, so I got the extra big logo. And as you can tell, Multiverse Games, Lebanese heroes are going to be there, so I'm going to be side by side with Multiverse. We're going to be slinging some board games, some collectibles, some Funko Pops, some vintage comics, and I know you can technically go to Hamada and Multiverse Games and buy my comics now, but when you buy them from me in person, folks, y'all gonna get some extra discounts. You don't think I'm gonna hook you up? So come to the event. There's a bunch of other cool vendors like The Lid, Vintage Magic. They sell vintage clothing. There's like a vintage eyeglass business. We got some awesome handmade soaps, which I personally use, the Supernova Society soaps. There's going to be margaritas. There's going to be a whole bunch of things, art prints, T-shirts. Come have a good time, hang out with us. I'm going to be there all day from 12 to 12. If you're a fan of the show, just come say hi, hang out, and get some comics, vintage comics that survived Israel's onslaught on Lebanon, folks.
Also, crazy story about like the guy from Multiverse contacted me 2 weeks ago, or 2 days before the explosion, and he wanted to do like a collaboration, but we both agreed to wait a month until shit settles down because like telling people to go to Beirut right now is not that advisable. And then this happened.
Yeah,
I was like, fuck.
We had a similar.
The guy's such a sweet guy.
Everyone at Multiverse is amazing. We had a similar situation with a sponsorship that we actually started for a week with a restaurant in Beirut called Munchies, and the war like started. Well, the pager attack happened, and then a week later the war started, so we just like pressed pause on the sponsorship, and we should hit them up again. But now most of our viewers don't even live here, so I don't know what to do about that. So, yeah, I know. They don't need to know that. But anyway, see you guys at the Mystic Market on December 14th, folks. Come pick out some comics. Well, speaking of ceasefires and wars and promoting businesses, let's talk about the Lebanese ceasefire, which we talked about last week. What's happening with that? Things are going great, right? Ceasefire.
I give it 1 week.
Everything. Well, you don't even need to give it a week because it's already
broken.
It's already broken down. So here, there's been a lot of violations. So here is a graphic from Megaphone News. It says, well, as of this recording, there's been more infractions, but 74 Israeli violations of the ceasefire so far. So that includes a whole bunch of things.
2 days
This will no
after
doubt
the
reach
ceasefire.
100 by Thursday.
And that was like literally 2 days after the ceasefire.
It has reached 100.
Let me read some more details for you guys. So the Israeli army violated the ceasefire in Lebanon 74 times since the agreement came into effect on November 27th, killing 2 people and injuring 6 others, according to a tally by Anadolu agency. On Monday, the Israeli army fired machine guns at homes in the town of Nour in southern Lebanon and renewed its warning to residents of 62 southern towns not to return to them. On Sunday, the occupation army committed 11 violations targeting the towns of Khaim, Yarun, Marun al-Ras, Aitrun, and Rashaya al-Fukhar with artillery and machine guns. So it's pretty crazy. But Hezbollah hasn't been sitting there just quietly and taking it, because they actually fired 2 rockets into the Sheba farms, which is technically Lebanese territory, but that is, I believe, still occupied by Israel. So they're just like sending a warning sign, like, yo, we see what you guys are doing. We ain't fucking around. This is a tweet by Rania Khaled. She says Israel is carrying out airstrikes across southern Lebanon because the Lebanese resistance fired 2 rockets at them in response to over 60 Israeli ceasefire violations in 5 days. The Israelis are being so outrageous that their American handlers have told them to calm down. And let's read some of these things in some more detail. So, yeah, here's the title from the Jerusalem Post. Calm down. U.S. officials tell Israel. Sources reveal to post. So 6 days into the ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah, tensions on the ground remain high. You need to calm down, U.S. officials reportedly told Israeli counterparts in recent days, according to a source familiar with the discussions. This comes amid daily Israeli airstrikes targeting what Israel claims are Hezbollah violations to the ceasefire, including reports of Hezbollah operatives patrolling the border area and rebuilding rocket storage sites. Again, Israel can consider anything an infraction. If they see someone digging a hole to bury their pet, oh, they're digging a tunnel, murder them. So this is what you should expect. They're going to use any and all excuses to break the ceasefire. But if Lebanon responds, oh shit, we need to destroy the fuck out of you guys. But if Israel breaks the ceasefire 75 times, it's okay. We're supposed to sit there and take it because that's the only reason we got a ceasefire. That's part of the deal.
Because their propaganda paints them as if they're defending themselves.
Always. They're always defending themselves.
They're the victims.
And there have been drones flying over Beirut again. Like one of the first things that stopped when the ceasefire happened was the non-stop buzzing of drones over Beirut, over many areas of Lebanon. That buzzing has returned. The drones
didn't even last for 24 hours, the ceasefire.
So it says here, the frustration expressed by the U.S. and France co-chairs of the ceasefire monitoring mechanism extends beyond Israeli airstrikes. Both nations view the return of Israeli drones over Beirut as a violation of the ceasefire. We have warned both sides, Israel and Hezbollah, against actions that jeopardize the implementation of the ceasefire agreement, officials told the Jerusalem Post. And this is another worrying tweet that I saw by Omar Tammo. He's a Lebanese journalist and financial analyst. He says, Israel says Lebanon, not just Hezbollah, will be a target if truce ends, according to Bloomberg. Here's a quote. If the ceasefire collapses, there will be no more exemption of the Lebanese state, Israel defense minister says. Distinguishing between Lebanon and Hezbollah will no longer be the case, he says. So that means safe areas like the one that I'm living in right now that we've all been so comfortable talking about, like there's relatively safe areas, but they're only bombing Dahin. According to this guy, the Israeli defense minister, if the ceasefire is broken, all of Lebanon is going to become a target. I'll become a target. They'll become
That's
a target.
what they want eventually.
They've always said that.
They keep saying that, yeah.
Hell, ceasefire is just an act.
It is. They're just buying time, and Trump is gearing up to do some crazy shit. So, I mean, a lot of people have been asking us about this. We didn't get to ask you, Elijah. How do you feel about the ceasefire?
Bullshit. When it was first announced, I gave it 3 days. I was shocked. It's still lasting. But yeah, max a week.
But did you...
What's shocking me is all the Lebanese people going back and starting to rebuild. I'm like, give it at least a month or two. Make sure the ceasefire is actually set in stone, because what you're building is gonna
But
people are just eager to go home.
I get them. They've been away from their homes for 2 months.
I know.
The whole family's living in cramped rooms together. They just want to go back to normal. You know what I mean?
No, for example, family of someone I know, they're fixing the house in Dahir. Give it some time.
Yeah, I get what you mean. So sticking to the topic of Israel and stuff, you guys know that Israel is considered a safe haven for pedophiles. We've spoken about that numerous times on the show. Anytime someone is accused of being a pedophile, or if they're even found guilty of being a pedophile in a jury of their peers, they run away to Israel. If they're Jewish, they can run away to Israel, and it's a safe haven. The law doesn't go after them. They can live safely amongst everyone. Those constant memes about if you open a sex offender app in Israel, you're just going to see red all over you because everyone there is a fucking sex offender. And they just got a new addition to their collection, folks. A star of House of Cards, Kevin Spacey, folks. The man, the myth, the legend, Kevin Spacey has just landed in Israel. So here we go. So welcome to Israel, Kevin Spacey. Thank you.
Is that his wife?
For your support. No, that is Libby Allen. I don't know who the fuck she is. So apparently he just went there to visit someone, he had a wedding or something, and they gave him a tour of the usual tour that they give, the October 7th tour. This is the kibbutzim that they destroyed. Look at this house that got burned down. This is where they put babies in ovens. All that, the fun, that fun stuff that they like talking about. So Kevin Spacey, welcome to Israel, my man. Welcome to the area. I hope you have a lovely stay.
He fits right in.
He fits right in. I was saying Army Hammer should go there next. You know what I mean? He's not a pedophile. He's more of a cannibal. But I mean, I'm sure there's room for cannibals in Israel, right? Jerry Seinfeld loves spending time in Israel. If you guys don't know, Jerry Seinfeld, when he was 40, was dating his wife when she was 17. She was a minor. Then when she turned 18, he would pick her up from high school and shit. Weird ass shit, bro.
What the fuck?
Jerry Seinfeld's fucking disgusting, bro. I can't believe I used to fucking like that show. Nasty shit. Trump put out this tweet he has, what is this, Truth Social or whatever the fuck? So he put that. So he got a visit. Actually, before we read that, he got a visit from Netanyahu's wife and his son. Here's a photo at Mar-a-Lago of Donald Trump with.
She looks like Satan.
Bro, she looks. Let's zoom. She literally looks like the devil, right? She literally looks like the devil. And I'm not trying to be a dick, but sometimes people, their faces reflect their insides. Look at that evil fucking monster, bro. She looks evil. And look, this is the son, whatever. They're just having dinner with Trump at Mar-a-Lago. So not long
so
after that
fucking
dinner,
evil.
not long after that, here is a tweet that Donald Trump put out, or whatever, a post on Truth Social. Everybody's talking about the hostages. I don't do good.
That's good. That
was good.
So good.
You guys like it? All right, let me try.
I'll try to edit your red face.
Everybody's talking about the hostages who are being held so violently, inhumanely, against the will of the entire world. I don't think it's very good. I'll work on it. In the Middle East, but it's all talk and no action. Please let this truth serve to represent that if the hostages are not released prior to January 20, 2025, the date that I proudly assume office as President of the United States, there will be all hell to pay in the Middle East. My question is, what is left to do to Gaza, bro? What else are you going to do? You want to nuke it? Just nuke it. But you'll get rid of Israel at the same time if you do that. They have paid hell. They have paid and then some. They have negative money. And for those in charge who perpetuated these atrocities against humanity, those responsible will be hit harder than anybody has been hit in the long and storied history of the United States of America. Release the hostages now. Horrible. Anyway, that's Donald Trump. Okay, he's having fun. And the kiss asses in Washington, D.C. just love quote tweeting him. And President Donald Trump. So this is who Governor Mike Huckabee, who his, I forgot what his role is. He is now like is he the American Israeli foreign minister or something? I can't remember. Says, this is my president. There must be serious consequences for holding any hostage, but America needs to exact severe consequences for kidnapping and murdering American hostages. Motherfucker, Hamas has given you 55 opportunities to get the hostages back. Guess who doesn't want them back? Netanyahu, because as long as Hamas has the hostages, Netanyahu can keep bombing the shit out of Gaza and murdering thousands and thousands of Palestinians. He doesn't want them back. The families of the hostages fucking hate Netanyahu. Israelis fucking hate Netanyahu. Not that they hate genocide. They love genocide. But they also hate Netanyahu. And so there's hundreds more of these quote tweets of everyone just kissing President Trump's ass like, yeah, get the hostages back. Make them pay by January 20, 2025. This is what $100 million from Miriam Adelson gets you. She's a huge Trump donor. She asked him to basically annex the West Bank, which is probably going to happen. But I mean, we knew that. Here is a lovely photo that you're going to have to blur, Elijah, of an Israeli soldier masturbating in front of burning buildings in Gaza.
What?
What? Where did you find this?
Yup, Reddit, my man.
No.
So here he is sitting down. You can't see anything, obviously. He's got his meat out, and he is, watching Gaza burn as he plays with himself. This is the level of depravity that we're dealing with. This is why Israelis are like the scariest people, in my opinion. Kind of terrifying. And there's no words. Just it speaks for itself. They say pictures are worth 1,000 words. Yeah, that's one of them. And speaking of Trump, this is probably the cringiest video I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to mute the song because it'll get us copyrighted. But this is a whole family celebrating Thanksgiving. There's a bunch of white people, obviously, and they're all dancing to YMCA, doing the Trump dance. They're going in a circle. White women that vote for Trump scare me. Like that's like, you know what I mean? Like white women that vote against their
100%.
actively vote against their rights fucking scare the shit out of me. So everyone in this video is fucking scary, but specifically the white women. Oh my God, they're so funny. Look at all these whites. Racist. I mean, I'm kidding. Not everyone who votes for Trump is a racist piece of shit, but I mean,
No.
you know,
Their morals
do I want to
questionable.
Like that lady is terrifying to me. Like that lady, terrifying.
Oh, this guy is awful.
Oh my God, Jim is so funny. Look at his dance moves. Oh, give me the camera. Let me film. Oh yeah. This guy's gonna go watch Aiden Ross once this is done, right? Bro, I can't.
How can people so publicly support a sex offender?
Bro, everything. Like he's a criminal. There's like, and they're so
He's been
happy.
impeached twice.
He represents them, bro. I'm happy. Like America is showing its true face. Their president is a reflection of them. So these people, they're all fucking disgusting to me, bro. This is so fucking. Oh my God, it's so fucking cringe.
God.
It is a good song though, but they're ruining it. Like they ruined YMCA, bro. And ironically, it's like a gay anthem, and like everyone there is like anti-gay and stuff, and they're dancing to the gayest song on the fucking planet, which is, hey, we love YMCA. I'm gonna stay at the YMCA. So ever since Trump won, Americans feel a lot more comfortable openly hating on trans people. I feel like they were already pretty comfortable with it.
They've always openly hated on trans.
But like now, I feel like they just feel more emboldened because they defeated the woke left or whatever the fuck. So I just wanted to kind of talk about just some of the things that are happening in American politics. So for example, Walmart has just changed like its policy. This was like a week ago or something, but like just to show you how everyone's kind of changing it up. Walmart is rolling back its diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts following a boycott threat. Changes include removal of inappropriate sexual and or transgender products marketed at children, which how many transgender products do you know that are marketed at kids? I don't know. Closing of the Racial Equity Center, removal of the term Latinx from all official communication, which I think most Hispanics would appreciate that. No one likes being called Latinx. Racial equity training to be discontinued, and removal of the term DEI while ensuring a respectful and supportive environment. So everyone couldn't wait to roll that stuff back.
Wait, I need contacts. What's Latinx?
Latinx is just the term to call like all people that are from like South American countries.
So you wouldn't say Latina or Latino. There's Latinx to like include everyone.
Latinx.
So
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, they hate being called that too. So here's a video of Representative Nancy Mace, who just got like elected to Congress or something. I don't really know. Sharing this little message on social media.
Oh my God.
She's adding biological to the women's bathroom because.
I hope you die, Nancy.
Thanks, Nancy.
So what happened? So there's the first ever transgender congresswoman that was elected to Congress in the States this election. So everyone's freaking out like, where is she going to go to the bathroom? What is she going to do? Is she going to come to our bathroom? So Nancy Mace is making sure no trans women enter the bathroom. So it's for biological women only. So, and I mean, you know for a fact that like other people are going to fucking follow in her footsteps, bro. And that's super fucked up. And here is Mike Johnson. Also, like, I don't know who the fuck he is, but he's a U.S. representative. Here is what he has to say about the trans issue.
Hello, everybody. I just want to make a statement for all of you here and be very clear. I was asked a question this morning at the leadership gaggle, and I rejected the premise because the answer is so obvious. For anybody who doesn't know my well-established record on this issue, let me be unequivocally clear. A man is a man, and a woman is a woman, and a man cannot become a woman. That said, I also believe, that's what Scripture teaches, what I just said, but I also believe that we treat everybody with dignity. And so we can do and believe all those things at the same time. And I wanted to make that clear for everybody because there's lots of questions. But that's where I stand. I've stood there my whole life, and those are facts.
I wish they cared about other stuff.
They put way too much attention on shit that...
Seriously.
There's like 12 trans people in the States. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? And I love how you like trans men don't exist. Trans women don't exist. We treat everybody with dignity, though. If you are that person that I just described and completely shat on, I love you and I believe in you and I want to support you, but you don't exist. Your rights don't fucking exist. It's like, bro, go stop the war. Go feed the homeless. Go fucking... Most Americans can't afford a $400 emergency. 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, bro. What are you doing talking about 12 trans people and who can use what bathrooms? Fucking get over this shit. A lot of people have said this, but what this is going to end up doing is hurting just like cis women the most. Like, are you going to have a guard in front of the bathroom checking women's genitals to make sure that they're like biological women?
Yeah.
What's the plan? You want to get kids in school? You want to have like a guard being like, let me check take your underwear off. See, like, what the fuck is the plan? Who wants to enforce this shit, bro? They're fucking freaks.
There's a recent TikTok video that went viral. It was like she's a biological woman that's not the most feminine stereotypically. So they didn't let her inside the women's bathroom and she lost her shit.
It's crazy, dude. Exactly. And it's just another way for men to control women. Like, we get to decide if you look female enough, do you look feminine enough? You could look kind of manly. Check her underwear. Take her underwear off. Like, what? Fucking insane. And this is bleeding into, so Jaguar just did like a rebrand.
I fucking love that rebrand.
Bro, people are losing their mind for the fucking
They
rebrand. Bro.
lost their shit.
Here's the teaser. We're gonna mute it because the music is probably copyrighted, and we're gonna. You can talk about it in the back, but like, yeah, this was the teaser last week. They were gonna announce a new car, and look, they have different looking people, but apparently just being black or different. Now that's it. It's Trump's America, folks. No trans people, no gays. That's it. Just straight good old Americans. They just saw some slightly bizarre
looking people.
Yeah, they look like models, bro. There's nothing weird about them. They look diverse. Oh, look, there's an Asian person. Holy shit. So copy nothing. So before we even reveal...
Did you see the reveal?
I saw the reveal. I mean, the car looks weird. We're going to look at it. But like this, before anyone even saw anything, just seeing diverse people representing Jaguar was enough to lead to all of these comments.
And all the vibrant colors. They went whoop.
Yeah, the colors.
Fun fact, Jaguar have been going fucking downhill in terms of sales. Nobody talks about them. With this campaign, everybody's talking about them.
I think
so
they're
they
talking-
needed the rebrand, and
now-
it's genius.
Now, I think it's negative attention that they're getting.
Still,
but
at least
so
they're getting the attention.
So let's see some of the comments that video got. So Brian Ward says, surely there were some adults at board level where this was signed off. The purple-haired millennial in charge of social media can continue to make light of this and poke fun at potential customers, but this will cost jobs and do real damage. Jaguar replies, to live is to evolve. Bro, the Jaguar replies, like I felt so bad
They
for...
were crazy unhinged.
I felt so bad for whoever was managing that account. Clown World says, selling my Jaguar. This is terrible. David Santa Carla says, do you have to be gay to drive a Jaguar?
Fucking idiots.
Danny Abel says, are you guys the car company or something else? Jaguar is also like, soon you'll see things our way. Andrew Tate had to give his take. He's like, this is gay bullshit. I have 76 cars. I do not own a Jag. And
Exactly.
now I never will. Yeah, because if you wanted to own one, you already would have owned one, bro. You have 76 cars. What the fuck, bro? The Hodge twins. Gay as hell. Ain't nobody buying a Jag after watching this. Ew. So Huff took the time to make an AI ad for them. He said, hi, I fixed your terrible ad. It took 2 minutes.
Yeah, sexist
Yes,
and
women.
misogynistic.
Obviously, yeah, we got a babe, you know what I mean? Big boobs, just chilling next to a Jaguar. Manly, yeah,
Women and
manly
cars.
car. Man cars. So people fucking freaked out. They're not feeling it. And again, I just feel like, again, this is just one of the results of Trump being elected. Not that these people were shy of sharing their feelings before, but now they're like, fuck it. We're the majority. We won the popular
Yeah.
vote. America's working this way. And let's look at the new car, actually. Look, it's kind of weird looking. It's interesting. I mean,
It's still a concept car.
it's a concept
but
car. It's an
it's
electrical vehicle. It's clearly inspired by the Cybertruck a little bit.
The Cybertruck, I know, did
They're
really
going
well,
basically
I think.
full on EV. They're not gonna do any more motorized cars.
Oh, that's it.
That's
Full-
why they're rebranding entirely, and that's
Okay.
the direction they're going. And I think, in a strategic perspective, it's good.
I think it's a nice. I think if this car wasn't like hot pink, if you make this car like black or something, most of the people that are complaining like this looks gay as shit
This would look dope.
would
as shit.
love driving the shit out of this car. But this
This
is
looks like something
a
Batman would
pink
drive
Yeah,
if it was
Cybertruck.
black.
it looks like a Batmobile. Like this is the Barbie version right now. I get it, and they're just trying to make a splash, like going with hot pink and stuff. It's a choice, you know what I mean? But and also apparently the way they're writing Jaguar now is different. So like the emphasis is
Yeah,
on the
the
Jaguar. They want people to say Jaguar. So the GU are capitalized on the logo. So yeah, I mean, what do you guys think about? I mean, I don't own a car. I wasn't planning on buying a Jaguar. And I don't plan on buying one now.
Same.
But it's just fun to see just people losing their shit over the most trivial shit. And again, this is Trump's America now. You can't have any diverse people. If a single black person shows up in a movie, woke, stop it. You're forcing it. I don't want to see blacks. Oh, this racist impression is ruining my throat. But anyways, what do you guys think of Jaguar's rebrand? Would you buy a Jaguar?
But based on this model, I don't think anyone can afford this Jaguar.
Yeah, it looks expensive.
This looks expensive.
It looks pretty pricey. Fun little topic that I want to talk about as well. As you guys know, the last time we talked about Israelis appropriating Lebanese food, I got called an anti-Semite by Ethan Klein on the H3 podcast. But this was a fun little
Wait,
article.
I've never been here. Ethan Klein.
Oh yeah,
Shut the fuck up.
Thank
What a
you.
spoiled little bitch.
Go ahead.
This guy nags too much. How old is he?
39, bro.
What the fuck?
He's got 3
He's
kids.
such a little bitch.
This was an article that, to be fair, this came out in 2019, but this just started going viral again on Twitter. This is from
The Nosher.
the Jerusalem Times. What is that?
My Jewish learning.
My Jewish Learning, and it's the Nosher. I don't know. This is like a blog or something.
What is Zaatar?
And what is Zaatar? The Israeli spice you will want to sprinkle on everything. Our favorite
You
Israeli spice.
motherfuckers.
Our favorite Israeli spice is subtle and so versatile. Just for some context,
Motherfuckers.
folks, Lebanese people, we eat Zaatar every morning. This morning I had a Zaatar and cheese pie. It is the most common breakfast item in the world. It's basically like dried thyme, herbs mixed with some sesame and some other herbs and spices. You mix it with some olive oil. It's fucking delicious. You make it into this little paste. You can put it on a flatbread. You put it in the oven or something. It's delicious. It's healthy. It's tasty as fuck. We love it. It is literally just like Americans have donuts or pancakes for breakfast. We have Zaatar pies. We fucking love that shit, okay? So to see them calling it Israeli and a spice, an Israeli spice, and this was in 2019, but I'm offended now. So I just want to read a little bit of this. Zaatar is everywhere these days in America. Just do a quick Pinterest search for Zaatar and you will come up with dozens and dozens of mouth-watering recipes using the spice. But what is it exactly? Zaatar is a spice, more specifically, a spice blend. Most internet searches will tell you that Zaatar is made from thyme, marjoram, sesame seeds, and sometimes sumac. But more accurately, Zaatar is made from a kind of oregano called hyssop, which is native to the Middle East and Southern Europe. Most Zaatar blends will contain a mixture of thyme, oregano, sesame seeds, salt, and samit. Another popular flavor of the Middle East. Sumac has a lemony flavor and a deep reddish hue. By the way, Joseph Mirab Kung Fu Jesus gave me his own handmade samit. He picked those plants.
Nice.
He fucking tahanun. He ground them up into powder, and I have a little jar of the Kung Fu Jesus samit. I mixed it with my Zaatar a couple days ago. It was delicious. Zaatar is incredibly popular in Israel, where you can find it baked into flatbreads, sprinkled over hummus, and used in dressings and marinades for salad, fish, and chicken. But each country and region in the Middle East actually has their own slight variation of the Zaatar spice blend, which you can see just by looking at them. Some are very green, while others have more sumac, which give it a deeper color tinge with red, blah, blah, blah. So where can you get Zaatar? You can actually make your own blend. Okay, we don't need to read the rest of this. Here's what I'll say, okay? Of course, people in Israel are going to be eating Zaatar. We live in the same region. We're going to be eating hummus. We're going to be eating... Yeah, we have the same food and stuff. But again, just don't call it Israeli. It is an Arab spice. It is a very traditionally Arab dish. Okay, you got a bunch of Arab Jews in Israel making it. It's still Arab. Just like Arab Jews making hummus in Israel doesn't mean that hummus is now Israeli. Just like we have Indians in England making curry, doesn't make curry British. So stop calling Zaatar Israeli. Stop calling hummus Israeli. That's it. We don't want to argue that. And there was a lot of funny memes. People were sharing pictures of like German bratwursts, being like, look, the Israeli dish that no one like. Everyone's just, the world is like making fun of this. So I'm happy. And we kind of talked about this on BadHasbara as well. So speaking of the BadHasbara podcast, it is I was a guest on the podcast this week. You guys can watch their episode with me. It is out now. We will put the link in the description. And I just wanted to take a second to thank hosts Matt Lieb and Daniel Mate for having me on. It was super nice getting to talk to them, getting an opportunity to talk about Lebanon, talk about the podcast a little bit, talk about Frogan and Ethan Klein just a tiny bit. We didn't want to focus on that too much. So as you guys know, last week Frogan was a guest on the BadHasbara podcast. This is their YouTube channel right here. Please go give it a follow, subscribe to their channel. It's a very interesting podcast. They're basically two anti-Zionist Jews that host this together. And they're basically dismantling Israeli propaganda every single week. They are the best kind of allies that we can get in the Middle East. Cool. Jewish people that are against Israel, that understand Israel's propaganda. They completely like, Hasbara is the name, is what you call like Israeli propaganda. So these two are honestly fucking amazing.
They're very nice, and they're such great hosts. Matt Lieb was interviewing Frogan solo last week, so Daniel wasn't there, but I got to talk to both Daniel Frogan was amazing.
And Matt. So here's the episode with Frogan. It's got 37K views. It did great. And it was a great chance for Frogan to tell her story, talk about how much Ethan has been harassing her and stuff, and being able to talk to two, again, anti-Zionist Jews, because she's been accused of being an anti-Semite, bro. So for them to give her a platform and give her a chance to explain herself, honestly, I really appreciate them. And it's super cool.
By the way, Ethan is such an Islamophobe.
He's a massive Islamophobe. And he couldn't help but comment on this episode. So he did watch the BadHasbara interview with Frogan. And this is what he had to say on Instagram stories. He says, "Hi, Matt Lieb jokes. Yes, I do know what you mean. That was my whole point. How dare you accuse me of being a Jewish supremacist, you scumbag.
How dare you.
While sitting across from a vile, hateful, talentless hack like Frogan." He fucking hates Frogan, bro.
I'm pretty sure it's because she's a hijabi.
Of course, definitely.
His Islamophobia boils when he looks at her.
Definitely. He says, "So many clowns lying on my name. It's getting about time to pop out and show him," which is a Kendrick Lamar quote from Not Like Us. Fucking Kendrick Lamar, Ethan, really? Like, that's so fucking cringe. But this was on Thanksgiving. Matt Lieb had the funniest response to Ethan. He shared Ethan's post on Instagram. And he just said, "Bro, eat turkey with your kids."
Seriously.
Just what are you doing, Ethan? Go have fun with your family, bro. There was one of the videos that he was filming in his basement that I reacted to.
Wow,
literally, you could hear
so
his
funny.
dogs barking in the back. Like, go feed your dogs. He's like, just go eat turkey with your kids, bro. It's fucking Thanksgiving. Why are you like... It's crazy.
I love that. That's
I love
so funny.
Matt is hilarious. So, and just another, like, a small example of, again, H3 views going down. So every year on Thanksgiving, they release their You Laugh, You Lose video. You know, it's a challenge everyone gets. We did an episode like that once. They get videos and they try to make each other laugh. You win points, you lose points. So last year, when they released their You Laugh, You Lose episode, after 3 days, it had 660K views. 3 days in. This year, after 3 days of releasing this year's You Laugh, You Lose, it's at 371K views. So almost, they've lost 50% of their audience year over year. And this is a perfect comparison because you can check the first 3 days, same video, same kind of video. they've lost half of their audience. And here's a video of Ethan kind of talking about how their monetization has gone down 10% and he doesn't understand why. And like, it's like, bro, what do you mean you don't understand why? Aren't you looking at the numbers?
Well, it went from, I mean, it dropped by like, what would that be, like 20%, 15%?
Do you want to know the actual percent? Because I'm looking at it right now.
Well, hold on, this is what I saw. Oh, yeah, tell me the percent. You can tell me the percent. I don't want to say the number, but I want to say, you can say the percent.
Okay, it's 9%.
That's what I said, 10%.
You said 20.
Oh. 10%'s a lot. That's a lot of revenue.
It's significant. I'm not saying it's not significant.
But like, I don't understand what's going on because it's November, which is usually your highest revenue month, and this was like our lowest revenue month of the year. Which makes me think like January is going to be extraordinarily cursed.
Yeah.
Which has me a little worried.
No.
So, yeah.
We've been in worse spots. That's my attitude about it.
Yeah, we have been. Although when we were in worse, listen, we're not in financial trouble.
So awkward, bro.
Why are they talking?
You know what? We've been in worse spots. It's definitely true.
Monetization dropping by 9%, it doesn't sound like much, but like, okay, let's say they make $1 million a year in monetization. They've almost lost 100 grand right now.
Yeah,
so now instead of making $1 million a year, they're making $900,000. That is a direct result of Ethan Klein and H3H3 shedding viewers. And again, a lot of ex-H3 viewers are watching our show now. So like the 20,000 views we're getting per episode now, maybe 10 or 15,000 of those views used to go to H3, but now people are watching us. They're watching Uninformed Leftists. They're watching Bad Empanada. They're watching all these other, the Cavernacle, all these other creators that have been popping up because of H3's crash out. And yeah, so that's been happening to their views. It's real. They're losing down. They're losing monetization. Surprise, surprise, we got an update, folks. This is actually kind of surprising. So just following up on what we just talked about and Ethan mentioning that their YouTube revenue is down by 9%. He actually, on Wednesday's episode, just said this, so I thought we should react to it. He's basically admitting that views are down, subscriptions are down. He's not like dancing around it anymore. So let's check it out.
Thank you to our members. Thank you to our members so very much. I was explaining on Monday that it's no surprise, or it's no secret, that the show has taken a bit of a downswing on viewership, and therefore ad revenue and memberships, because I'm stand on my business.
You certainly do.
And you know what I mean? And it wasn't not an unexpected thing to happen. I expected it as a result of my decisions to distance myself from Hassan and his, in my opinion, more radical community than I'm comfortable with. And
notice how he says that he chose to distance himself from the fans. Like, okay, yeah, technically he did it verbally, but it's the fans that chose to distance themselves from Ethan by unsubscribing to the channel, by canceling their memberships. He used to berate and insult members of his channel that have been paying him, like paying members for like 30 months, 20 months, many years. He would permanently block them in chat. They would ignore fans in their subreddit. They would delete their comments. So he actively drove his fans away, and now he's complaining that they're losing views and that they have less monetization and stuff.
I want to say that thank you to everyone who continues to support us with the memberships, and if you are in a position to support us, if you can afford the $5 a month or whatever it costs, then I would greatly appreciate that.
So I got to talk about this right here. So here you have a millionaire, a multimillionaire, who made fun of Frogan for apparently panhandling when she asks for subscriptions on Twitch or something. He makes fun of her for that. He says that she's a talentless hack who begs for money online. Well, here you have Ethan, a multimillionaire who was just boasting about buying a new expensive watch earlier in this episode, apparently. And he's literally begging his fans for money to make up for all the fans that he drove away. So he wants his remaining fans to make up for his mistakes of driving everyone away and putting his team's work in danger, because now he might not be able to afford to pay all of these salaries, etc. I'm sure Teddy Fresh sales are also down. You know what I mean? So it's just crazy that he mocks other people. And I don't think if you make content online and people want to support you financially, YouTube monetization isn't enough to cover this show, for example. So we have a Patreon, but I don't call other people that do that begging for money. Ethan does. That's what he does. He calls people like Frogan and other streamers beggars and panhandlers. So now he's literally doing the exact same thing, but it's 10 times more shameless. So yeah, it's just kind of so, I'm sorry to use the word, but like pathetic to watch this video right now.
This time. However, we're fine. We're gonna be fine. And I'm just happy you're here.
We're going to make it, baby.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. I'm just happy you're here.
I mean, it's crazy. This is just crazy to watch. I'm glad that he's admitting it. Like, that's it, you know. Everything that I've been talking about, all the shit I've been talking about, Hassan, it has led to less views, less monetization, less memberships. Everything we've been doing has been working. Do I feel conflicted? I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, a small part of me kind of feels some sympathy for this man watching it, because he just looks like a shell of his former self. He looks depressed when he's hosting that show. He looks unhappy. He looks uncomfortable. The vibes are completely off. But he had it coming, and this is a direct consequence of his actions and the things that he chose to say and believe in and represent. And he drove away a loyal fan base that was willing to support them financially, all sorts of support. And yeah, this is a direct result of everything that he's been doing and all the other creators that have been speaking out against him. So we did it. I guess that's the only thing that we can say, you know? So here's the thumbnail. Actually, ooh, they picked a nice photo of me. Here's the thumbnail for my BadHasbara episode. You guys can check it out now. Again, there's going to be a link. And let me just introduce you guys to
That's a photo from a thumbnail.
From one of our thumbnails. Yeah.
I reckon.
So let me introduce you guys to Matt Lieb. Matt Lieb made these parody videos before he even knew of the Ethan Klein situation. And when people saw these videos, they thought he was making fun of Ethan Klein. So he's pretending to be a liberal Zionist, and it's just fucking hilarious. This is exactly what Ethan Klein is doing.
So I'm a liberal Zionist, and I have to say that I actually do agree with a lot of what the pro-Palestinian left has to say about Israel. The occupation is awful and it needs to end. The settlers are crazy. We have to do something about that. Netanyahu is a criminal. He's going to lead Israel to ruin. The 17-year siege of Gaza has been brutal, and it is completely unconscionable. I agree that Israel is essentially, in parts of it, an apartheid state. But, like, the one thing is, after the 7th, the thing is that I don't care anymore. I'm bad now. Because, like, here's the thing. After the 7th, I just kind of realized if it's us or them, then it's got to be us. No more them. I never thought I could be a fascist, but I think I'm a fascist now. And it's kind of great so because awkward. I have all these new friends. Me and Amy Schumer and the ugly guy from Stranger Things. And I'm getting all these new job opportunities. And I'm like, okay, if this is what... I didn't know that fascism came with stuff. If I had known that, I'd have been a fascist a long time ago. It's kind of nice too, because now I get to be like, ooh, I'm bad. So I'm just going to be bad now. Like, I can still believe all that other stuff too, but just not now. I'm going to wait till later. But for now, I'm going to be bad. Okay. Bye-bye.
So true.
And he's also part of Good Mythical Morning. So if you guys are fans of Rhett and Link, Good Mythical Morning, he's part of like their crew. Yeah, dude, he's hilarious. And he's also like a stand-up comic. He does stand-up comedy.
Nice.
Here's another video of him as this liberal Zionist character.
Hey guys, today is it's a really tragic day for me and for all of my liberal Zionist brothers and sisters out there. Those aid workers at the World Kitchen who died tragically in an accidental targeted bombing. It's just one of those things that is just unavoidable. And as Zionists, I think we all need to pause for a moment and realize that like the collateral damage is not good. And is in fact can be bad. And, I'm praying for them and for all their families. And got a notification. Israel. Oh, they're Hamas. They're Hamas. They deserve to die. It's good that they're dead. And it's tragic to say, but I hope their families die too. Oh no, sorry. That was a different thing. No, this is tragic. The Israeli government is saying officially that this is sad. So I think it's sad that this happened, unless there's something else that comes to light later.
The mental gymnastics that liberal Zionists have to do on a daily basis to try to justify what's happening. Here's just a fun picture of Matt and Daniel together. And for those of you wondering, okay, so who is Daniel? Daniel Mate is a musician, a composer, and he just happens to be the son of Gabor Mate, who I'm sure a lot of you guys know. You've been seeing a lot of his clips. Anytime something happens in Palestine and Israel, his clips go viral. He is a Canadian physician. He's an academic, and here's just a clip of him that went viral just a few weeks ago talking to Theo Von, and he made Theo Von cry talking about kids in Palestine. So this is Daniel's dad. So I met this guy's son, and at the end of the interview, after the interview was done, I just told him, we love your dad in Lebanon. He's like, I'm going to send him my regards. Your regards. I'm going to let him know how much you guys love him. I'm like, please do, because we fucking love your dad.
That's so cute.
Oh, imagine some kid over there in Gaza looking up and there's a bomb, they think, man, I'm so horrible, I deserve to be bombed.
Well, you know what? There was a study done of Gazan children.
Man, that's crazy. I hadn't thought about that. Really imagine that, though.
There was a study done of children in Palestine 21 years ago. And 95%, this is long before the current horrors, long before October the 7th, long before the aftermath of October the 7th. 5% of those kids showed traumatic symptoms. High percentage wet their beds, like you and I did. They expressed aggression towards their parents. They had panic attacks, anxiety, fears. Can you imagine what's going to happen to that generation?
Years from now?
Years from now. I mean, it just breaks my heart every day when I think about it. And
for any kids
I know a lot of my fellow Jews don't agree with me, but as a Jewish person, I'm not the only one who feels that way. It especially breaks my heart.
Yeah. Well, when you put it in that sense, imagine a kid
And just, the significance of it, what's cool about seeing Theo Von crying is Theo Von appeals to a completely different demographic. He appeals to a lot of right-wing people, centrist, people who would never really empathize with Palestinians or even take the time to look into that cause. So for Gabor's words to move Theo to tears and having Theo's audience see him cry about the kids in Palestine, I think that's very important. We need people like Gabor Mate. We need people like Daniel. His brother Aaron Mate. What they're doing is great. It was just great for me to get to meet them and just talk to them. And just this final little clip. At the end of Frogan's interview with Matt last week, they ended it with this quote, which I just think is perfect.
All right, everyone. Thanks again so much for listening. And until next time, from the river to the sea, what the fuck happened to H3H3?
Jumping jacks was us. Push-ups was us. Got my guy us.
Hell yeah.
So that's fun as fuck. I can't wait for you guys to watch the episode. Please go watch it. Go support them. Subscribe to their channel. Let them know that we sent you in the comments. Be like, hey, we're fans of Do Not Worry. Subscribe to their channel. We need more podcasts like this. The Middle East needs more voices like their voices. And thank you, Matt and Daniel, for having me on. And their producer, Adam Levin. Thank you guys so much. Here's a behind-the-scenes little picture that before we started recording. Here we all four of us with Adam up in the top corner. It was super fun. And I never do interviews. I'm really awkward at interviews. I never feel like I'm worthy of being interviewed. So I was a little nervous before we started.
Aww.
But it ended up being, they're super chill. They made me feel super comfortable. So, yeah.
No doubt you nailed it.
Well, I hope you guys will you'll let me know if I nailed it or not, if I fucked up. Our next topic, I think this is probably the main topic. This is the one that interests me the most this week. As you guys know, folks, right now in America, there's a box office is on fire. Moana 2 just came out to record-breaking numbers, and everyone in the States has been enjoying Glicked, which was the release of Wicked and Gladiator 2. They came out on the same weekend, kind of like Oppenheimer or Barbenheimer. I'm sorry. So you got these two different movies. Well, there's no Glicked in Lebanon, folks. We ain't enjoying no Glicked because Wicked came out, but Gladiator 2 has been banned, and so has Venom 3, by the way. I wanted to see Venom 3, to be honest with you guys. I don't like the first two, but I still wanted to watch the third one. But Venom 3 isn't out in Lebanon. Gladiator 2 isn't out in Lebanon. Why is that, folks? What's happening? Well, it's a pretty easy answer. Zionism. So, apparently, Gladiator 2 stars actor called Lior Raz, and here's a photo of him. And he is an Israeli actor, but it's not just the fact that he's Israeli, he's actually an ex-IDF member. And here's another photo of him at an event called Friends of the IDF. So here he is right here with a bunch of IDF soldiers, a bunch of scumbags in one photo. Look at those 5 shits. And let me read a little bit of his history from Wikipedia. So after Raz graduated from high school at the age of 18, he enlisted in the Israel Defense Forces and became a commando in the elite undercover counterterrorism unit known as Siyadat Duvdevan. And also, he also served in the what?
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah. He also served in the Duvdevan unit in the reserves for 20 years. For 3 years, until Raz was 19, he had a girlfriend named Iris Azulai. In October 1990, a Palestinian Arab stabbed her to death with a 15-inch knife in Jerusalem. The man who stabbed her was later released from prison in 2011. In the 2011 Gilad Shalit prisoner exchange, in which 1,027 prisoners were released in order to obtain the release from captivity of the kidnapped Israeli soldier Gilad Shalit, who had been held prisoner by Hamas for 5 years. In 1993, after his military service, Raz moved to the United States and was hired as a security. In 1993, after his military service, Raz moved to the United States and was hired by a security contracting firm as Arnold Schwarzenegger's bodyguard. In an interview with Israel Hayom, he said, "The company turned to me since they knew my military background. For me, it was the most glamorous thing to be the watchdog of Arnold Schwarzenegger and his wife." So this motherfucker, I mean, it's pretty tragic that he lost his girlfriend, obviously, to a stabbing. I mean, it doesn't matter who did what. We don't wish that upon anyone here, unlike Israelis and the 2 nice Jewish boys. But... so yeah, we're going to talk about what we think about movies getting banned, but this is why this movie got banned. As for Venom 3, I went through the actors list. I couldn't figure out if anyone was Israeli or anything, but what ended up being the cause was producer Avi Arad, who's actually the producer of every single Spider-Man movie that's come out since 2002. He produced the original Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire, the ones with Andrew Garfield. He does the animated Spider-Man stuff, all the Venom movies, all the spin-offs. He has his fingers in everything Spider-Man. And here is Avi's history with the IDF. Avi Arad was born in 1948, so Nakba year, in Ramat Gan, Israel, to a Jewish family. The son of Holocaust survivors from Poland, he grew up reading Superman and Spider-Man comics translated into Hebrew. He's a huge Spider-Man fan. In 1965, he was conscripted as a soldier into the Israel Defense Forces. He fought and was wounded in the not wounded enough, if I'm just kidding. He fought and was wounded in the 1967 Six-Day War and spent 15 days recuperating. Arad finished his military service in 1968. I mean, as fucked as that is, if that man weren't alive, we may not have gotten the 2002 Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie, which are some of my favorite movies of all time. Those movies changed my life, so it's pretty fucked that I keep kicking the camera. Sorry.
I'm keeping this.
You can keep it. I mean, if it wasn't for this man, some of my favorite movies of all time would not exist. And
that's how I feel about The Last of Us, like Neil Druckmann.
Neil Druckmann, yeah, he's a big-ass Zionist.
And Uncharted.
Yeah. And the Spider-Man movies, like, are what motivated me to start collecting comic books and comic book-related, like, action figures and stuff. Like, really, this fucking Zionist partly changed my life. Obviously, Sam Raimi did most of the heavy lifting. But so in 1970, Arad moved to the U.S. and he enrolled at Hasbara University, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so he was a... But the thing is, like, we've been getting every single Spider-Man movie almost. Like, we didn't get a Spider-Verse Part 2, not because of any Zionism, not because of Avi Arad, but because of this. We talked about this before.
Because of trans.
Remember that scene? That
1 second trans flag?
That 2-second scene where there was a flag in Gwen Stacy's room that said, "Protect trans kids." Yeah, we didn't get Spider-Man because of that scene. They could have just cut it out, but no, the whole movie was banned.
What's funny to me, I'm going to segue into Wicked, it had a lot of gay characters.
Wicked?
That were openly gay, and none of it was cut. But this was removed from the cinema?
So Lebanese censors are extremely inconsistent. That's all.
Completely inconsistent.
They're extremely inconsistent. So even when Barbie was going to come out, they tried to ban Barbie in Lebanon. They pretend that they didn't.
We didn't get Barbenheimer.
We didn't get Barbie. We got Barbie came out
Oppenheimer, then Barbie.
Yeah, we got Oppenheimer, then Barbie came out like 2 months later because they legitimately tried to ban it. Now they pretend like, no, we never meant to ban it. They tried to ban it for it promoting like feminism too much. Like they thought it had a negative message against like men, but then the internet freaked out and they ended up releasing Barbie.
That was so insane.
But
that was so stupid.
But they regularly ban movies that have like anything that is offensive to religion. So like The Nun doesn't come out in Lebanon. The Nun movies, those stopped coming out here.
They're trash either way. So.
Even though The Exorcist came out in when The Exorcist came out in the 70s, it came out in theaters in Lebanon, and The Exorcist has some fucked up scenes. Like if you know what I'm talking about. So the fact like Lebanon is kind of going backwards when it comes to that sort of thing. But what do we think about banning movies that star IDF soldiers. We regularly ban Gal Gadot movies. I know, the worst actress in the world. So we never
But
get.
it's so funny because the ones where she's like a side actress in, they're always like premiering here. Like for example,
The Fast
like
and Furious. Yeah, they use. Yeah,
As long as she's not starring.
as long as she's not the main star, but like Wonder Woman didn't come out here, and what else? Snow White. So you said you saw the Snow White
they
trailer
played
in the theater,
trailer in the like theater. But they
Okay.
always do that. They always play the trailers.
and they just tease you, right?
Yeah.
So Gal Gadot is playing the evil queen, the evil witch in the new Snow White movie. So we're probably not gonna get that.
Gal Gadot is such a shit actress.
She's the worst though.
She's the
But
worst.
for some reason, she's great at Wonder Woman.
No, she's horrible. Dude.
Kal-El.
she's
She's
not.
horrible, dude.
Remember who you are.
Kal-El, no! Remember who you are.
It's dude. There was a scene in Batman versus Superman. I remember when like the fucking was it Abomination. What was the name of that monster?
wait.
Google it. That monster at the end of Batman v Superman. Okay, she's like he's feeding off energy. I'm like this is the worst. Dude, she's so
That was
wooden.
the worst.
She's the worst actress in the world. So anyway.
Are we sure these
Doomsday.
movies got banned because of IDF?
I called the cinema. So I called the cinema. I'm like, hey, is Gladiator 2 coming out? Because I couldn't find it on any releasings. They're like, no. I'm like, why? They're like, Israel. I'm like, oh, okay. Like the lady, I just called the lady at the theater. Then I'm like, what about Venom 3? She's like, Kamena Israel. I'm like, okay. I had to do some research. And again, I couldn't find it. So Twitter was like, Avi Arad. I'm like, oh yeah, I should have thought of Avi Arad. But like, I mean, I get banning a movie. So okay, so what do you guys think? Should we ban movies that star IDF soldiers or not?
Look, I believe if they're Zionists, fuck it. I don't even want to watch that movie.
Yeah, same.
Unless it's like a really good movie.
I mean, we're boycotting food that we used to regularly eat. I
But
can
like when
go
Last of
around
Us
with
Part 3
not
comes out,
watching a
trust
movie.
I'll be pre-ordering that.
Well, I mean, yeah. So
That Zionist, I have an entire Ellie tattoo from The Last of Us, and it's my biggest tattoo.
we all fucked
And
up,
I
bro.
fucking love that tattoo.
I have a Captain America tattoo right here. America Shaitan. So I mean, hey, what can you do, right? So.
Yeah, you have to choose your battles.
So here's what I think. When they banned Wonder Woman a few years ago, I actually made a video with ex-patron of the show, Gino Raid, years ago. We both I invited him on to talk. Like American viewers, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But I invited Gino to come on, and we talked about how I thought that you shouldn't ban a film. If people don't want to watch it, they have every right to boycott it. I'm like, make it a personal choice. Make it a consumer choice. Don't, like, first of all, you're hurting cinemas. Cinemas in Lebanon are already struggling. Cinemas all over the world are struggling, especially with COVID. It made life for cinemas 10 times harder. So for cinemas not to get like these big blockbuster movies like Spider-Man or Wonder Woman, that hurts their bottom line. So I was like, just make it like leave it up to the consumer. If you don't feel comfortable supporting Gal Gadot,
But at the same
then
time,
I support you. But I have changed my position on that.
okay.
That's what I used to think. Now, fuck Gal
That's what I
Gadot.
used to think as well.
Fuck
Same,
the
man.
IDF. Fuck Zionism. Fuck Israel. If anyone is in a movie or involved in a movie that was directly involved in killing us, bombing us, hurting Palestinians,
Definitely.
bro, fuck you. We don't want none of your shit. Fuck these movies. We'll fucking torrent them legally. I'll fucking watch it on Netflix when it comes out.
Yep.
But we're not fucking spending any money supporting fucking no talent Gal fucking Gadot, Lior fucking Raz, piece of shit motherfucker who's in fucking Gladiator, Avi fucking Arad, who is a fucking piece of shit. No one likes Avi Arad in fucking Hollywood, by the way. He's known to be like a huge fucking piece of shit. So I can't wait till he has nothing to do with the Spider-Man movies anymore. And also, an extra reason to fuck Gladiator 2. There was a half Egyptian, half Palestinian actress called May Kalamawi. You guys may have seen her in the Moon Knight series on Netflix. She turned into that
Right. I
didn't
superhero
watch
at
it.
the end.
Right.
She got cut. Literally, she got cast for a major role in Gladiator 2, and her role was completely cut out. So here is just a little bit of that. So here's a tweet. Palestinian actress May Kalamawi went from being the female lead in Gladiator 2 to being entirely cut out from the film and wasn't even invited to the premiere. Oh, fuck Paramount, and thank you, Pedro Pascal, for reminding everyone that she was a part of this movie and shouldn't be erased. So May Kalamawi, and here's a tweet of like the announcement. May Kalamawi has been cast as the female lead in Gladiator 2, and her role has been completely cut the fuck out. Original reports indicated that May Kalamawi landed a lead female role that got the same search treatment as Paul Mescal. However, she has no lines in the final cut of the movie. I think you might see her standing in the background somewhere. I'm not sure. And then Pedro Pascal, the sweetheart that he is, shared some posts on Instagram about his shooting adventure on in the movie. Like they went to Morocco and a bunch of things. And he shared some photos with May, just chilling.
Oh,
He really is a sweet.
Pedro is a stand-up
He
fucking
really
guy.
is Joel.
He's a sweetheart. He's a really good guy. Everybody loves Pedro. So And look, they're having a fucking good time. So, I mean, fuck Gladiator 2. And I wanted to watch it because I recently rewatched Gladiator 1. It's a fucking epic movie. I'm glad these movies are banned. Fuck these actors.
It would be such a hypocritical thing to, like, imagine they're bombing us and we're watching from someone from the IDF act in the Lebanon.
But, like, you guys don't understand the sacrifice that I'm making. So, Venom being banned, fuck Venom 3. But if that means there are basically not going to be any more Spider-Man movies in Lebanon. Let me show you something, folks. This is a Spider-Man tattoo right here on my arm. This is a Mary Jane Watson tattoo on my arm as drawn by John Romita Sr. I am a massive Spider-Man fan. I wait for these movies like religiously. I collect Spider-Man comics. I sell comics.
Right here, there's a shit ton of Funko Pops, entirely Spider-Man.
So this is heartbreaking for me, folks. Like I'm here making a massive sacrifice that you guys don't even appreciate. But I am willing to forego watching a Spider-Man movie on opening day. Breaks my fucking heart, bro. To protect Lebanon's honor, bro. Fuck these Zionists. I'm glad it's fucking based. Honestly, I think Lebanon is fucking based for doing that. I think it's stupid when we ban movies for gay stuff. I think it's stupid when we ban movies for trans stuff. I think it's stupid when we ban movies for religious stuff. It's okay. And at this point, I don't know what movies are going to fucking come out in Lebanon. Every movie has an Israeli in them. And Israelis have to join the IDF. So what are the chances of an Israeli actor not being in the IDF? Are any movies still going to come out in Lebanon? Who the fuck knows? I'm serious. Like I can totally see like nothing coming out here anymore. Unless they selectively pick and choose, like we can release this one. This person has like a side little role. I mean, to me,
I think they're doing that.
To me, if they're just Israeli, that's a problem. Like, if it's just an Israeli person that hasn't even been in the IDF, like, you got to let it slide. But who's going to make those distinctions? Like, who the fuck? I don't know what the fuck is happening. This is literally uncharted territory because now I think they're going to take this shit more seriously. And yeah, we might not get any more fucking movies coming out here. But I think it's a fucking based decision. I think Lebanon is fucking badass. Fuck Zionism. It's just like when countries like don't invite Russian athletes to the Olympics. Fucking stop invite. We can't support Israeli art anymore. I'm sorry. And this should make studios think twice before casting ex-IDF soldiers in their movies.
I mean, they don't give a fuck about us.
They don't give a fuck about us. But if the entire region, if all Arab countries refuse to play these movies, then it's going to make a difference in these studios' bottom line. They're going to be like, well, if we cast an Israeli actor who's in the IDF, we can't make the $100 million that we normally would make from this territory, so let's not do it. That's how.
Sure, the Arab countries will do that.
Yeah, I mean they won't do that. There's not that much business here, but anyways, we just wanted to. Lebanon is based.
And Lebanon is fucking tiny, so
they
barely even notice it.
I guess I'm gonna watch Venom 3 when it comes out on stream, and I'm gonna watch Gladiator 2, and I'm not gonna watch fucking Snow White. Fuck that shit. And yeah, what do you guys think? Are you guys proud of our little country, Lebanon, for banning Gal Gadot? I mean, every country should have the right to ban Gal Gadot movies, at the very least. Like that should be a right, not a privilege. And here it is a privilege not to get to see that fucking B-word's face on any fucking posters.
I agree.
He feeds off some kind of energy. Bro, the worst fucking actress. Oh my God. There's one more thing I want to read actually about Avi Arad. Here's an interview with him from the New York Post. It says Marvel Studios founder Avi Arad rips Chuck Schumer over his criticism of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. So Avi Arad really fucking loves Benjamin Netanyahu. I gotta read this. I'm sorry I'm late on this. Marvel Studios founder Avi Arad, producer of the Spider-Man, Incredible Hulk, and Iron Man movies, slammed Schumer's web of betrayal by abandoning Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and meddling in Israeli politics amid the Jewish state's war with Hamas. Arad, a dual citizen who was born in Israel and moved to the U.S. in 1969, sent a scorching personal letter to Schumer yesterday saying he was stunned by the high-ranking Jewish official's betrayal of Israel's leader in its time of need. And here is what that dog shit Avi Arad said. I'm writing about your recent statement last Thursday when you called on Israel to hold new elections, saying you believe Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has lost his way and is an obstacle to peace in the region amid a growing humanitarian crisis in Gaza. I believe your statement is not only incorrect, but inappropriate, said Arad. It is not your war. It is not your country. It's not your country either, you dipshit. And it is not you who is at risk. And with all due respect, it is not your place or business to attempt to dictate to another democratic country what its electorate should do or how they should vote, said the Hollywood movie mogul, who is Jewish and served in the Israeli army. Arad said it's repulsive enough to hear Hollywood stars blame Israel for the occupation and the conflict with Palestinians, but it's quite another to hear harsh criticism of Israel from a United States senator who is the highest-ranking Jewish elected official in our government and whose constituents constitute one of the largest concentrations of Jews in the world. Arad accused Schumer, 73, of ignoring the fact that Israelis are dealing with an enemy, Hamas, that has vowed to annihilate the state of Israel. He said, I wonder if, God forbid, one or more of your relatives was butchered like the Israelis were by Hamas on October 7th. What would you be saying? Or if, God forbid, a member of your family was taken hostage and held in subhuman conditions for more than 5 months or killed in captivity. Blah, blah, blah. Fuck you, Avi Arad. And hey, I guess I have to say it. Fuck Spider-Man. I'm kidding. Nah, I'll never say that. But fuck you, Zionist piece of trash. Before we get to the Bad Empanada interview, I think this is going to be a long episode. You guys are lucky this week, huh? Nour has been working diligently on the Dr. Food presentation because a lot of our new fans have been asking, what's the deal with Dr. Food? He's smuggling drugs in his wafers. What?
A lot of drama.
We demand to know more. So Nour has broken it down. Your new Olivia, folks. You guys, if you miss Olivia's slideshows on H3, Nour is your new Olivia, Arab Olivia. Even though we like Olivia. Olivia's nice. Olivia defends Palestine. She shares all the good stuff. Olivia, we're fans. We like you. Just like AB, our heroes, AB, Lena. We love you guys.
To be fair, I just want to give credit. I wasn't really inspired by Olivia. I was inspired by another YouTuber. She's called Nicole Raffi.
Nicole Raffi, okay.
She was on the Palestinian stream with a Try Guys.
Oh, okay. Very cool. I thought you were going to say the nice Jewish boys. I'm like, who?
I got confused.
Who? Okay, the Try Guys. That's very cool. All right. So, Nour, would you like to sit?
The floor is yours.
Would you like to sit here? The last time I sat there, I screamed into this microphone, so I'm going to try to lower my voice as much as I can.
So chapter 1, the old Dr. Food, the Dr. Food that we know. He started posting March of 2021 until October 2022, where he stopped being the old Dr. Food, I would say, and we'll get to why. You're gonna know why. So his original content started with basically he would order food and review it. Here's a little taste.
So he usually orders 2 burgers from 2 competing places and would try them, or 2 chicken sandwiches from 2 competitors and would try them and pick his favorite, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Here's a quick video. They're a little bit long. He was very unedited, very raw videos, but captivating.
Beautiful, riveting stuff. Is it America Tawu? Oh no, what is that?
Skewers. I think they closed.
Those fries look
It's
fucked.
just bad.
Personally, I used to love these videos.
They are captivating.
اوكي مش كثير مرتب بس شغل عليه بطريقه حلوه حاطط اسمه حاط رقم تليفوناته السوشيال ميديا بلاتفورم.
We don't have to watch this.
Yeah, we don't have. No.
His personality is such a piece of shit. You can't not like him. Let's be real here.
I love that them doing the bare minimum with their packaging. They have their name on the packaging and their phone number. Great packaging.
He would also do renovations for restaurants. This is a place called Sushi Holic, and Elijah and me, we went to review it after Dr. Food did the renovations.
I remember that.
Here, these were pre-renovations where he was still using it for content.
Okay. Sushi Holic.
Just being a dick, breaking stuff.
Yeah, so he showed up with a golf club and started smashing the restaurant to bits.
And that's how you make viral content.
Just bad content.
And I just remember us criticizing this a lot because, okay, I mean, I get it. You want to go viral, you want to make a funny video, but he's smashing glass. That could literally harm some of the crew that are there.
Looking at it now, this was obviously part of the entire script, and they paid him to do this. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's just, it's unsafe for the crew, I feel. You could just get a piece of glass in your eye for a stupid Dr. Food TikTok video.
So he would also do weird, very bad skits meant to teach restaurant owners how to handle their operations and stuff. It's very confusing and weird.
And they just made the restaurants look awful.
I know, you're a chicken restaurant and you don't know how to make chicken sandwiches. Let me teach you how. It's
Here's a quick taste of a skit.
ما اكلت منه ما تاكل من صحن الزبونات لا ابدا ذكرني عليها طاوله 105 يلا
بياكل مغربيه
هذا الصحن طاوله 100 على الطاوله 100
Why is he a waiter?
Is he like a waiter?
Things that no one would use.
So he's eating.
There's in what waiters do.
How to handle your bad waiters. This was the concept of this. Okay, we don't have to watch it.
So he's being a shitty waiter.
Yep. So his main thing was being obnoxious. Here are some more videos of him being obnoxious.
I remember this.
Yep. The honey incident. And we have the pasta incident.
Parmesan spaghetti.
How did you find these?
Oh my god.
I have my archives.
What was the pasta incident? What happened here?
What?
He ate from the whole thing that they serve people in.
Oh, he ate from it. Oh my god. Oh yeah, why are you using it as a plate? I mean, they have to throw this in the trash after this.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, they do.
They usually use this to serve, all the guests.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Food
Anyway,
isn't.
Yeah, got a chunk.
You do not eat that.
Oh my god.
Look at these fucking close-ups.
That's before he met Shroot, before the refinement. Those are the early days.
For the family.
Single man, not in jail. The law's not after him.
So during that time, he self-identified as a business consultant, top F&B growth consultant. He
21K.
had 21.3K followers.
And we still have those old
That's
screenshots.
old.
I have everything.
That's crazy, man.
I went back to my hard drive. I have everything. So chapter 2, Doomsday. What happened on October 2022?
Is that when he met his wife?
So on a dark, dark day on October 2022, out of nowhere, no one expected anything. Out of the blue, Dr. Food posted his marriage video.
بعرسي أنا رح طعمي عزيمة، تعالوا معي.
بعرسنا اثنيناتنا رح نطعميكم فاصوليا ورز، تعالوا.
أول شيء بنحط زبدة. وهلا حنضيف لها
It's so hard to believe that we didn't know who she was before this.
It's become such a pivotal part of it.
أطيب لقمة إذن الدكتور فود.
هلا حنزيد المي.
رشة ملح ورشة بهارات.
By the way, they cooked something that makes people shit and fart.
نقلل الفاصوليا معها.
Yeah, it's just beans.
Beans and rice.
نطرنا عليهم نص ساعة حنزيد لهم الرب البندورة. حطوا العلبة كلها.
Okay, so he got married.
Just to be fair, they got a lot of criticism for serving like a very like regular meat and potatoes kind of dish, like salt of the earth, like regular people, like farmers. It's the people's food, like beans and rice. So people were like kind of shitting on them. I feel like it's okay. It's a nice little touch. It's a
I mean,
local.
I like beans and rice.
But it just makes you shit a lot. It gives you a lot of gas.
It's just not wedding food.
Yeah, it's not wedding food, I guess. Like the dance floor was probably stinky.
Yeah. So Dr. Food gets married. His content takes a little shift after his marriage. So he starts cooking, like batch cooking at random places. Here are some examples of that.
5 كيلو طحين.
And notice how he's not wearing any gloves.
Nothing.
He doesn't wear any, no protective gear.
Who needs hygiene?
He's just handling shit with his hands.
12 بيضة. حط لها آخر شيء فانيل. العجينة صارت جاهزة.
So that's one. Here's another.
66 كيلو gum base.
Making gum.
33 كيلو قطر. 2 كيلو نعناع فليفر. 300 ملي جليسرين.
Again, no gloves, no hairnet, no nothing. I keep looking at this camera.
You said no hairline?
No hairnet. Also, no hairline.
And the content that took the internet by storm, I would say, and some of my favorite content is the globe content.
Well, and Shroot, just for people who don't know, like Shroot was also like a massive influencer in her own right. She had like 2 million followers. She's Jordanian, Syrian, or just Syrian.
She's Syrian Palestinian.
She's Syrian Palestinian. So she had an even bigger social media account than he did. So it's like both of them joined forces and like became the most obnoxious fucking content couple on the internet.
Like his wife right now has 15 million followers.
Yeah,
on
like
one platform only.
She's massive.
Here's some of that obnoxious content.
Dr. Food, لوين حنروح اليوم؟
يلا على الكرة الأرضية.
فرنسا.
معكرونة.
أش
Oh, we saw that last time. We don't need to watch that again.
Okay, I'll put the other one.
I love this one.
This is bad. This is really bad.
India.
Oh my god.
Teal.
Cultural inappropriate.
Hilana. Chaval. Char Kabani.
Teal.
Oh my god.
Hot stick.
I don't remember this.
يجي مرش. بياز.
Oh my god.
لهسون. نمك.
It feels like it's been dubbed by Ocean the Husky, bro.
زنجبيل، بابريكا حلوة، كزبرة يابسة، كاري، كزبرة حب.
He couldn't do this in Indian. Anyway.
But you have to agree, these are good videos you can't not watch.
These are very...
I mean,
you can't
I guess.
skip these. You can't. You think you can, but
You can't. Like even Shu's newest videos in Costco, like I can't not watch
Walmart.
them. The Walmart.
Buying hummus from Walmart.
This is the iconic photo shoot they did after they got married, which is now deleted off of their Instagrams, by the way. I had to dig through the
Is it true that she unfollowed him on TikTok or something?
She unfollowed
Bro,
him.
they might be divorced. Like, we don't know. We'll get to that. But yeah, look at the Photoshop. Just Elijah, zoom into some of those
Very
photos.
bad.
Give people
You
a taste.
compared her to
A cartoon character. I can't remember who it was.
Hatab al-Bunny.
Lola Bunny?
Lola
Yeah,
Bunny.
she looked like Lola Bunny. Dude, just look like a cartoon character, dude.
This is now deleted off the internet, by the way. You're getting a taste of something really good. Anyway. And then they got pregnant, and of course they milked that pregnancy. They
Of
got
course.
every single drop of content they could.
This
of
is what
this
you call,
pregnancy.
it's what we like to call a content baby, not a real
Also,
baby.
we have to mention, she got pregnant for like 33 months.
Her pregnancy
She never gave
lasted
birth.
for
Yeah,
5 years.
it felt like the
What
longest.
felt like.
Yeah, it felt like the longest pregnancy. There were rumors that she might have miscarried. So I don't know,
I
but
don't know.
but it did feel like a 33-month pregnancy that just would never end. And then I thought at one point that they were like using the pregnancy just to introduce their wafers, like because it took so long. I'm like, are they just gonna be like, and here's the baby, our wafer brand?
That's what we thought.
That's what I thought at one point. I'm like, is this baby even real, or are they just gonna be like a box of wafers popped
guys,
out?
You have to wait. خلاص, don't
Sorry, we're spoiling it.
don't spoil it. So here's a little pregnancy content.
تنفجري.
أكتر من رح انفجر. بدك تجيب آيس كريم فانيل. فليو.
He's making her pregnancy craving.
تقصهم من النص. تحتيهم آيس كريم وبدك تجيب شوكولا ويفر. سانشاين ستيكس.
كل هدول بدكم يحطوهم بقلب صحن وتاكليهم.
Is this where they got the idea for the wafer? She decided to need a wafer.
نسيت أقول لك بدك تحط سبرينكلز عشان الكولرز.
يعني انت اختار الغدا شو نتغدى اليوم؟
أنا عبالي يتغدى هيك وحنا عبالو يتغدى هيك.
Keep it for a second.
دكتور فود نسيت أقول لك عبالي أناناس كمان معهم.
Is he making like a pickle mix?
Yeah.
سيبون بيعمل ايس كريم فري.
Pickles and ice cream, bro? Is this like a real craving?
It's
or
actually good.
It's
I've
good?
heard of
Isn't
it.
this just content right now?
I've heard.
No,
I
you can
I
try
think
it.
it is content, but it actually is a craving for pregnant women, I think.
Oh, they already have their
Yeah,
wafers here. Okay.
Oh my god, that's
Oh, that's her brand of chips. We've seen enough at this point.
So, as you were mentioning, they did use her actually going into labor to create more content to announce some of their products.
دكتور فود الحقني
سانشاين انا بالمعمل وعم اعمل كوكيز.
عم بولد.
ما توقفوا شيء كملوا للاخر. حطوا طحين. طولي بالك. طولي بالك. حطوا حليب.
So
زيدوا
bad.
الكاكاو بسرعة.
دكتور فود ما تنسى لستين الصويا.
زيدون بسرعة زيدون.
I believe she calls her husband Dr. Food.
Did you get this?
وزيدوا الحبوب الشوكولا فوق العجينة. بلشوا بمرحلة التقطيع.
We ate that shit, bro. Oh my god.
زيدوا حبوب الشوكولا على
We ate her
الوجه.
pregnancy
مثل ما قلت
cookies.
سانشاين بسرعة.
يا بطني وما تنسى سمارتيز.
زيدوه. طولوا بالكم مش قادر اكون معكم فوتون على الفرن بسرعة.
We tried those cookies, by the way. They are horrendous. Horrendous.
Although me and Nour like the Smarties one.
Horrible.
It was like the least offensive, I would say.
The least violent.
Are they going to give them cookies? Oh my God, they actually... I forgot that they actually did this, bro.
They did this.
And here the internet thought she wasn't actually pregnant all this time.
And they made the cookies soft, so like they're not crunchy or anything. They feel like mold,
They're
like
flimsy. They literally flop.
they're like floppy cookies. They're like disgusting, bro. Oh
So
my
yeah,
God.
they did that.
Also, I think we have to mention Shru literally posted her entire birth. Like she was screaming and shouting. It was so fucking disturbing to watch, and it was so viral. You couldn't not see it or avoid it.
I think we definitely have that somewhere in the archives. I think.
I think
the birth
I
video.
should, unfortunately.
Yeah, it sounds like a porn video.
We'll try to add it in post right now. If we have it, you'll see it. If we don't have it, you're not gonna see it.
And that takes us to, I think, I would call it the best year of Dr. Food's life. Dr. Food and the Chocolate Factory, the year of 2023, where he put out all these fucking products.
Oh
the
my
signature
God.
cakes, Dr. Food wafers, sunshine sticks, the flimsy ass cookies, Dr. Burp, which we never saw actually.
Dr. Burp never released because he went to jail.
He went to jail before Dr. Burp could
Yep.
come out. Did we try? I don't know if we tried. We tried the top cakes, the fancy ones up in the top. We didn't try the Zoji Zahan or Zoji.
Exactly, I'm getting to that.
We didn't try those, and we never tried Flio. Did we try Flio?
No.
I've tried Flio.
Flio is a hazelnut dip.
It's a hazelnut, like Nutella.
Spread.
Yeah, it's like a hazelnut spread, basically.
And Zoji Zahan cake, which literally translates to my husband is bored cake. Anyway, chapter 4, the beginning of the end.
Just to give Shuru some credit, like she propelled this man's kid. Like I don't think he would have done any of this stuff if it wasn't like for her kind of like pushing him, be like, we need to make more content. Let's make products. Let's do this and let's do that. So as much and his wife has like a whole history that we've gone through it on the show before. Like she used to be married to a man in Canada just to get the citizenship. Then he found out that she was married to someone else, so he tried to divorce her. When he tried to divorce her, she accused him of the R word and of sexual harassment. And then he sued her for defamation, and then she got like kicked out of Canada or something. So it was this whole fucking thing. So when Dr. Food met her, I don't think he knew that. Like he didn't know that his wife like scammed another man to get like the Canadian citizenship while she was married to someone else. So like the man got taken for, like he's not a perfect man. You know, Dr. Food is a flawed man, but like
I think they're both equally to blame for what happened.
They're both a vile couple.
They're both, very hungry clout goblins,
yes,
as you call them.
And they're both meant for each other.
They are. So the beginning of the end, and it took off on December 2023, the last month of his best year, with the moldy cakes. Zoji Zahan, which is why we never got to try them.
The
because
moldy.
those cakes were moldy.
Moldy cakes.
The second incident, the cheating scandal.
The cheating scandal. Bro, when this happened, literally, like, when we talked about this was our biggest episode of the podcast ever. Like, this was...
The Middle East
blew up. Everyone stopped what they were doing. Like, what? So Katrexa is this other... Like, you're going to talk about it, right?
Ahead.
So Katrexa is, like, this famous sort of TikToker. She makes, like, I don't know, it's like... She does a lot of TikTok live. She's just known for like being generally...
She gives sugar baby vibes.
Sugar baby vibes. She's known for being attractive. Rumors are circulating that she's like an escort, and she recently moved to Dubai to basically work as an escort. She's basically confirmed it herself, like on TikTok lives, mentioning how much she charges and stuff. So, anyways, we don't need to get into that. We're not judging her. Shru thought that Dr. Food was cheating on her with this character, Katrexa.
Here's some of that. It all went down on TikTok Live, by the way. So they broke down on TikTok Live.
توعبتوني أكتر من جوزي لما شافني ببكي قبل ما أطلع معكم ولا عبرني. أنتوا عبرتوني. أنت ما عبرتني. أنت عبرتني.
طبعا.
أنت عبرتني.
بس أنا
أنت عبرتني قبل ما أطلع معهم. أنت عبرتني.
Yeah, anyway. here's.
I love how like the emojis and like all this stuff, like while she's crying and like their life is falling apart, you have people like sending hearts and stuff.
Yeah, and the cowboy hats.
The cowboy hats.
Here's the other part of that.
بتحب الفضايح.
شيلي التليفون عني اعملي معروف.
نو رح احكي لكم كل شيء هلا. كل شيء.
طيب شيلي اللايف.
لا انا حرة. مش ممشيني حافية.
ما حدا مشاك حافية.
وتارك ابني اللي عمره 3 شهور لحاله بالغرفة.
They left the baby in the hotel.
بس سكرت اللايف معكم، اجبرني اسكر اللايف. رح طلع فل من الاوتيل. والله فل. والله فل. تركني وفل زي ولد ما عنده ولد ما عنده مرة. ابعد عني وعن اللايف. لا قبل ما تعتذر ما في. قال اطلعي قولي لهم اني حاخذك عودة على دبي. قلت لكم.
اوكي خلص.
وبعدين تركني وفل. الحقيني بقول لي وانا حافية والدنيا درجة الحرارة تحت الصفر. انا طالعة هات طلعوا شو لابسة. طلعوا جوزي كيف ملحقني لإله بالشارع وابني لحاله فوق. والله والله وعم يحكي تليفونات مع امي ومع خيي وما بعرف مين. خليه يسكر اللايف. عم
جبت انيت البيت لوحدها. وانا اصلا ما تخريها كلها.
لا واضح.
So he's on the phone with her parents. He's being like, she drank a whole bottle of wine. I don't know what to do. She's going crazy. And she's just like accusing him of shit. It's.
So that was that.
And then like in the live she like shares like very like exclusive details that Katraxa sucked him off and like she shares everything.
Yeah, I don't have that. I didn't.
She lost it.
So there, we also have a video of Dr. Food and Katraxa sharing a kiss before he ever met his wife. So here's that clip.
ماما قولي قد ايه بحبها لكاتريكسا، قد ايه الكاميرا بتحبها، قد ايه ذكية، قد ايه قوية، أشطر بنت بالعالم.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the third scandal and our final scandal that really took him down. The space wafers. Here I have a little article translated. Dr. Food is wanted for drug manufacturing, trafficking, and smuggling crimes after 3 months of investigations.
I'll be right back.
And thus, Dr. Food disappeared from the internet.
For context, the guy was in Dubai when these alleged rumors started, back when they used to be alleged, and he refused to come back to Lebanon.
He wouldn't come back, and he was still dropping videos.
I would like to clap for this as well.
Thank you.
So we actually own, these are the first Dr. Food wafers that he released, like the first edition. These came out on the market without any nutrition facts. There are no nutrition facts anywhere on this packaging. They don't tell you how much sugar is in this, how many, nothing. It's just like, this could be poison. So I kept them. I kept one of each, the dark one, the hazelnut one, and the milk chocolate one. I have all of them in the freezer. I will never get rid of these because the next version he released does contain nutrition facts. So these classics right here are stored in my freezer. They will never go anywhere. We've tried these wafers so many fucking times. We've actually had Dr. Food and his wife on one of our TikTok lives, bro. They just randomly
and that
joined.
Was after the
cheating scandal.
After the cheating scandal, in a few days, they started like competing on your live.
It was kind of crazy, man. It was, and like I've never interacted with them before, so it's kind of insane. And yeah, the whole drug thing was insane. Well, thank you, Nour. Thank you for this.
Just a quick little epilogue. A little, where are they now? So Sunshine is in Canada and she's pregnant again somehow. So we're assuming that Dr. Food is there.
Who's the daddy?
Maybe.
Who's the daddy?
I think Katraxa released her own biscuits after the scandal.
She did. She made her own Katraxa cookies. That's how you make it in Lebanon.
And Dr. Food hasn't posted since 21st of April.
May 21st. May 21st. Holy shit,
and
huh?
He's been MIA.
And there's rumor.
That is it.
I heard a rumor that there was like a funeral in his like hometown village, and someone saw him at like that funeral. Like he made an appearance somewhere, or so. Very weird. Well, thank you, Nour. Thank you. I hope this was fun for you guys. I hope you guys got to learn what you wanted to know about Dr. Food.
This is Lebanese core lore.
All their ups and downs. Lovely, Nour. Thank you. Was it weird sitting in my spot?
Yeah, it was.
Now you know what I go through every week. Stress. And now we're just going to move on to the Bad Empanada interview. So check that out. I hope you guys enjoy it. He was a really lovely dude to talk to. Folks, we are joined by Bad Empanada, the man himself, joining us from Argentina. It's very nice to meet you. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the podcast. How's it going?
I'm very good. It's very good to be here on the official podcast of Lebanese state and also the terrorist group Hezbollah.
Well, I'm happy. I'm happy to hear it. Thank you for that description. We hope we do not get demonetized because of it. Thank you, Bad Empanada. A great start. I just a quick question just to start things off. How sick are you of talking about Ethan Klein?
It's okay when it's like sort of a good excuse to talk about a broader topic, but just really boring because he doesn't actually really talk about stuff. And he, at least the first few times, he sort of tried to make arguments. Now he's just like screaming anti-Semitism at everyone. So kind of very sick.
I know, and it's like I thought it would end pretty quickly, but he seems, I don't know like how familiar you are with Ethan and like how he handles drama, but like his drama with Trisha Paytas is still ongoing. His lawsuit with Ryan Kavanaugh, he's been talking about that for like 2.5 years maybe or something like that. So if he's going to follow in the same footsteps with Hassan, we might be in this for a year, 2 years. So like I don't know how often I want to cover this, but
yeah, I mean, I feel like he's not going to really move on to like the first couple of times it was like an opportunity to talk about sort of like, you know, what does terrorist mean? How does it make any sense that this person is called a terrorist when this other person isn't? And like there was also an opportunity to talk about the Nakba. Like I started just sort of making fun of him because he had like a video that I saw. It was like my entry into this whole thing where he was like talking about how like George W. Bush is super wholesome because he paints from years ago.
Yeah.
And then I started looking at the rest of it and it's just like, okay, this is like a good opportunity to like get some eyes on like, you know, more important topics. And now it's just like, he's just like throwing out like the dumbest slander and defamation every 2 seconds. And he's no longer really talking about anything serious. So it's like, kind of,
he's completely
outside his welcome.
So when was that? Like, when was that George Bush video? So like, when did you become familiar with Ethan Klein?
I saw it like maybe 2 months ago. Let me check.
Okay. So
just to be exact, so like two-ish, 3-ish months ago. And that was like around the time I think that he started like his whole anti-Hassan thing. And that was like sort of my entry into that. And then I just saw I saw him like screaming at the Yemeni guy that Hassan talked to. Yeah. And it's like, and I knew by that point what Hila had done in the IDF. And it's like, okay, how the fuck does it make any sense for you to call this guy a terrorist based on practically nothing when you're married to a fucking IDF veteran? So that was my entry into it. And now he just complains like this guy, like Hassan is associating with this guy who called Hila a terrorist. And he doesn't even try to elaborate on why that's bad, why it's wrong. He just acts like it should by default be like impermissible when he's been slandering this guy as a terrorist for months.
Well, he never really responds to anyone that can make like a cogent argument. So he's just going to call you names like he's been doing. And I don't think he's ever going to address anything you've said.
Oh, yeah, I learned that already. That's why I'm kind of over it.
Yeah, exactly. So like I don't even think he's seen any of my videos yet. He probably has no idea who I am. But like I
think he mentioned you in his story a couple of times, didn't he?
I did appear in the stories, but like he never mentioned me by name. I was just a guest on the Arabs pod, so with Frogan, Capri, and Raf, all three of them were on the Sabra Hummus panel that got them banned off of Twitch and all of that sort of thing. So I'm friends with them digitally. So I was on an episode with them. We were talking about how Israelis are always appropriating Arab food. He went crazy about how we were saying that.
Yeah, I responded to that in the Nakba video.
Yeah. So he was pretty angry that we were saying that hummus is Arab. So he again sort of lost his mind.
Yeah, it's a great argument by him there. He's like, I don't know, him and other Israelis, and I will call him Israeli. He really doesn't like it when you call him Israeli, even though he literally isn't Israeli, by the way. I noticed that. But him and other Israelis, like it's it's fine to say that like Arab Jews ate the same food. Yeah, but there's a difference between that and saying it's Israeli now, you know? Because, there's Arabs everywhere in the world. I don't call Arab food, I don't call fucking hummus Australian. There's like millions of Arabs in Australia. How does that make any sense?
Exactly. Or like
the argument's just so dumb.
Or Indian cuisine in England. Like it's not all of a sudden British cuisine now because Indian people in England are making it. It's still Indian food.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. And the whole reason that comes up is because they want to deny that they're Arab in the first place. They don't want to acknowledge it. So they just call it Israeli instead.
Well, I just wanted to ask, I discovered you through this whole Ethan Klein thing. So if there's one positive is that I've been finding a lot of other creators online. I just saw you did like a collaboration with Uninformed Leftist, who's also, his channel has been growing a lot just because of, mainly because of Ethan. He's been covering the Ethan drama a lot. So
Yeah.
there's, like the Vanguard they've been that have been covering it as well. I don't know if you watch them. They do like a lot of political commentary, and like drama commentary. Ethan's Basement, who literally used to be an Ethan Klein fan channel, who used to make just compilations of H3, made a whole like video critiquing Ethan and like his descent into madness. So it's just been kind of funny how H3 views are dropping, literally dropping, and I can see where all those views are going. Like they're literally being split amongst all these new little creators. And I mean, you've been around for a while. You have a lot more subscribers than we do, but it's just been fun. Like, how did you come across our video? Like, I'm curious because you left a comment on my first Ethan Klein video, and a lot of people were like, "Yo, Bad Empanada is fucking like talking to you."
I don't remember exactly. I think someone linked it in my Discord or something. I'm not 100% sure.
It was a very pleasant surprise because like I was literally watching your video the day before, and I'm like, it's just and like the H3 Snark Reddit that I think they don't like mentioning you, I guess, because you've been deemed too controversial. You're too dangerous for Reddit. Like that's how.
Good. I like that. That's a good label.
But I love when the thumbs up show up on Zoom. It's like every time it happens.
I really don't understand what's going on with that, but it's cool. It's fine.
Anytime you do a thumbs up, like the software, half the time it kind of recognizes it. It'll give you a thumbs up.
Wow, what an amazing application.
It doesn't work when you need it to. You know what I mean? Like the way I guess I define like the Ethan versus Hassan thing, it is interpersonal, parasocial YouTube drama, but at the very least, it's tied to a very sort of pertinent issue that at least we can draw attention. We can use that YouTube drama to talk about Palestine and Israel and what's happening over there. So as long as there's something behind it that we can a broader message to kind of point to, I think it's okay. That's kind of how I've been justifying the whole Ethan versus Hassan thing. Also, it's just fun poaching his audience. Literally, like my channel used to only appeal to Lebanese people, and like Lebanon has a huge diaspora. A lot of us live everywhere, like around the world. So I would get like some views from Lebanese people living abroad. Literally now half my audience is coming from like North America. I got people watching from Australia, from like the UK. Most of them Fallen fans, H3 fans, and like our audience used to be 70% male and 30% female. It's now 51% female and 48% male. And like I'm like right now my biggest anxiety is like how do I keep this new audience and how do I keep them interested? Because I used to talk about things that are completely unrelated to Hassan and H3, and I just talk about like weird random Lebanese drama, and now I have the stress of appealing to a Western audience. And the only reason I switched to English was just when the war started. I was like, I just want to speak in English so that I can kind of cover the war in Lebanon and talk about it and have everyone understand. And now we're kind of stuck in this little
committed to it. Yeah, I mean, I think Ethan, for example, he complained on his Instagram story that like Hassan platformed me and he made my channel blow up and all this. But no, it's not that. It's not that. It's that like he is inadvertently expanding the audience of a ton of people who are just like sort of using him as a springboard to refute him on very important points as to what's going on in the Middle East right now, obviously. And he doesn't really realize that, but he's having like this massively positive effect in like boosting a ton of people who are talking about really important things that he would prefer they didn't talk about. So, you know, I made a video on my second channel, like just I made Ethan Klein his own song called "Thank You, Ethan Klein."
I love
he helped me out and he's helped you out. He's helping everyone out. Thank you, Ethan.
And he's indirectly helping Palestine. So actually, he might actually be a hero for the Palestinian cause. Like inadvertently, he's like supplying all these people with all these creators that are.
He really doesn't realize it that he's helping to disseminate exactly what he doesn't want to.
Well, there's these other two creators that I honestly just only recently discovered. Like the first time I heard of Destiny was when I was watching his debate with Norm Finkelstein and Loner Box. I know you have sort of a long history with these two dudes. I just recently had a minor spat on Twitter with Loner Box. Sort of like, what's your history with these two guys? And Destiny's embroiled in some kind of weird controversy right now. We don't need to get into that. But
Destiny's some guy who went from playing video games to debating politics. And I've been an unperson for him. Like, he doesn't talk about me anymore since like 3 years ago, where I debated him on colonization in general, like just colonialism. And he looked like a child who never heard of the concept before. And Lonerbox was some guy who was like a liberal Zionist, though this was like 2 years ago. No one really realized that it was a liberal Zionist, and I called him out for it. And he kind of got away with it because everyone's just like, oh, come on. Like he says West Bank settlements are bad. He acknowledges that an Nakba happened. What more do you want from him? So like I got accused of being an anti-Semite for calling him out on that for like years, and then the Gaza genocide happened, and it kind of sucks, but I guess that's what it took for people to realize who these people really are. I don't know, like he's from a Maronite family, and I mean, they're not like super committed to like Falangism or anything, but there's certainly an association, and I don't really see the way how someone like that could become what he is unless there is some sort of like familial bias involved there.
There is a very sort of an extreme Christian section of the population here in Lebanon that like hates Hezbollah, that fought against the Palestinians a few decades ago. But I mean, that's a whole complicated issue. But speaking of complicated issues, and now that we have you here and you're a pretty seasoned political and historical sort of commentator, the situation in Syria right now is extremely confusing. And for most people that are watching, they've just spent the last year learning about Palestine and like getting to know the basics. Could you give us just a quick overview of what's going down in Syria right now? Because like the internet is all over the place. So like if you support Palestine, but if you don't support Bashar al-Assad, you're like a traitor to the cause. And people who are supporting Bashar al-Assad are being called out. People don't know what to think of what's happening. Can you kind of quickly break it down to us? What is currently happening in Syria? What should people think of this whole situation?
Well, I don't think that anyone should take what I say about Syria as like the word from a seasoned expert on Syria or anything. All that I know is that HTS, whose full name I've already forgotten, is a split from the Al-Nusra Front, which was an Al-Qaeda affiliate. And I don't know precisely what happened in like the intermediate years, during the sort of cold point of the war. For the last 2 or 3 years, it's been pretty uneventful. But they have suddenly sort of surfaced, and now they are contributing the vast majority of the fighters to the rebel factions. Previously, that was not really the case. I get most of my news on Syria from Kurdish sources because the Kurds just fight everyone, and I feel like that's probably the least biased source to get it from. And the Kurds are calling them Turkish-backed mercenaries, which, I mean, I don't think is true, but, they clearly don't like them very much. They're not just fighting government troops, they're also fighting the SDF, which is the Kurdish army. And I don't know, it seems really, really confusing, difficult to understand what is going on, difficult to understand like who's the least bad side here versus a former Al-Qaeda affiliate and the Assad government. And then you also have like a third faction who is like the Kurds, who are sort of trying to like negotiate on autonomy between everyone, including Turkey, who are also backing HTS. And I don't know. It's a hyper confusing situation, and shit's changing extremely fast. Shit is going down. Like they've taken the second biggest city in Syria in a matter of days. It
is. The way I kind of see it, the way I kind of understand it, and I could be completely off base, is that it's basically like ISIS 2.0 right now. Like I think we should be like, I don't like Assad at all. One of my best friends is Syrian. His family fled Syria because of the Assad regime and all of that. But like, I think in this case of the lesser of two evils, and I'm not a lesser of two evils fan, but like, I think we should probably support Bashar al-Assad against like what seems to be like a terrorist uprising, or like at least like in my opinion, or like a second version of ISIS. And they might want to try to come into Lebanon and destabilizing the whole region. And they might be doing this now because Hezbollah has been kind of weakened in their eyes. So Hezbollah isn't there to maybe fight them the way they might have been able to. It might also sort of decrease the flow of weapons from Syria into Lebanon. So the timing of this just seems very suspect, right after the ceasefire in Lebanon and right after all the aggressions against Hezbollah, for this to be happening right now. So it does seem to be like Israel and the US are directly involved in the funding of these forces and rebels that are fighting the Assad government. So that could be an explanation. I am the farthest thing from a political expert or like an expert on fucking Syria. This thing is extremely confusing, but that's what I've kind of tried to gather so far. So it seems bad. It seems very bad for sure.
I mean, they're going to clip the part where you said that we should support Assad. I mean, I wouldn't say we should support him, but in this situation, I don't know. Like HTS is sufficiently bad that even like Western countries designate them as a terrorist group. I'm not sure if the West wanted them to become the dominant rebel faction. And by the way, they're not even a part of the main rebel umbrella group. They're a part of their own umbrella group solely for like Islamist groups. Yeah. So that's how bad they are. Like they're even worse than the normal Islamists. So to me, yeah, I don't know what to think. I don't know what I should be hoping for. But like this is like one of the worst case scenarios. Like I don't think they are as bad as ISIS, but like they're not that much better. And it's not a good thing they have become a dominant faction from previously being in a position where, they were just kind of contributing to a much broader coalition of groups. And at this point, like, I don't really want to make any pronouncements. I don't know who to support. Like, the only group in this who themselves, I wouldn't say I support. Like, like the least of all the evils are like the Kurdish factions. They're the most agreeable because they don't really ask for that much. They're like, okay, I don't care who wins, just give us an autonomous region. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's really easy to not be against that. And they just sort of fight everyone. And I don't know, but I don't really, I don't want to make any like concrete pronouncements like, yes, let's back Assad or whatever.
And just to clarify, I do not back Assad. It's funny how you think people clip this. Like, I'm not at a point
this is going on Ethan Klein's story.
I'm not at a point where people are clipping me so far or out of context. If that starts happening, in fact, I'll be pretty happy if I start getting clip chimped.
I guess that is a good idea. That's a good indication.
Cool. Well, I had a quick question, just a fun little thing. Not a fun little thing, but like something that I want to get your opinion on. Movies in Lebanon are getting banned because of like having Israeli actors in them or something. So Gladiator 2 just got banned because there's an actor in there that used to be in the IDF. And Venom 3, which I'm sure you're super interested in, also got banned because apparently the producer, Avi Arad, used to be in the IDF back in the 60s and even fought in like the 10 Days War or something back in the 60s. And he produces basically every single Spider-Man related movie that comes out. Now, they always used to come out, but now I guess they're taking it more seriously. Anytime a Gal Gadot movie comes out, it gets banned in Lebanon. We don't get any of those. So what do you think about banning movies starring Israelis? Do you think more countries should start? Not Israelis, at least. I mean, I think it's kind of a slippery slope. I think if someone happens to be Israeli, like let's say Natalie Portman or something, like it's fine, release the movie. Because, I mean, movie theaters are already kind of struggling as it is when you're stopping every major blockbuster from coming out. But at least IDF soldiers, like I think that's pretty bad. I used to. So when they banned Wonder Woman a few years ago, I kind of complained about that. And I used to be like, it should be up to the consumer. If you want to boycott it, more power to you. I fully support that. But if someone else just wants to go watch Wonder Woman or a movie theater wants to play it and try to make some money off of it, they should be able to. But now I've gone full 180 on that. I'm more than happy to ban that shit. We don't need to be watching Venom 3 or Gladiator 2. I hear they're both pretty shit anyways. But sort of what's your take on that? Is Lebanon based?
I mean, that's good. It should be far more extensive than that. Like, basically any like IDF veteran should be banned from everything everywhere in the world, 100%. Not just movies, everything boycotted. This is like a means of pressure. It's a part of it should be a part of BDS. By BDS, I just mean like the concept rather than the specific BDS organization. Like boycotting, Israeli products, boycotting Israelis, for example, like Israelis who are like public figures who are pro-Israel, stuff like that, former IDF members, stuff like that, in any sphere, like fucking just blanket ban on IDF veterans doing tourism anywhere in the world. I'm all for stuff like that. It's the sort of thing that like I don't think like the boycott of South Africa ever went that far, but it didn't go that far because it didn't need to. In this case, it something like that would absolutely be warranted 100%. Like this is the way that you put pressure on a country to force it to change what it's doing, stuff like that. You hit them where it hurts. Now, as to getting anyone to actually participate in this, Israel is very uniquely protected by the West, which makes doing so incredibly impractical in many situations. The US even has laws like against boycotting Israel. What a fucking joke that is. Even on like an individual basis, it's not allowed. Yeah, I think like on a moral level, it's fine. As to whether it's possible or practical to do, it would be. But as long as like the Western Bloc remains so united in favor of Israel, it's difficult to pull off.
Actually, let me see if Ethan is live streaming right now. It's Monday. There should be a new H3 episode coming out. Because Frogan did a podcast with BadHasbara on last week.
Oh yeah,
and like it drove Ethan insane because the host of that podcast, insane. Like the best part is that he is an anti-Zionist Jewish man. So that is the like kryptonite to Ethan's argument because like
the one insult that he has is gone. Shit.
Exactly.
Oh, no, he'll probably just call him a capo. He has two insults. He has those two: anti-Semitic and capo.
He called him a scumbag on Instagram stories.
Close enough.
There's one more question that I want to ask you because you mentioned this in our chat once and it sounded pretty cryptic. You told me like, do you want to talk about Lebanese people living in Australia? So first of all, I take it that you live in Australia, you're Australian. What is it about Lebanese people in Australia? What's the deal? What do we do over there? I know there's a massive Lebanese population there. Like there's this lady on TikTok who makes like donuts who's very famous that I see. I forget what they're called, but she has like this this crazy brand of donuts. But I know so many Lebanese people in Australia. What are we up to over there? Do you guys hate us, or are we a cherished part of Australian society?
Well, yeah, I think it's a Lebanese podcast, so I might as well represent Lebanese people, even though I'm not Lebanese. Do some cultural appropriation. So, like in Australia, like, you know, late 80s, early 90s, like tons of Lebanese and Iraqi immigrants as well started coming over. And this was around the time that like the first and second generation of Europe, like Southern European migrants from like mostly Italy and Greece, Malta as well, were like coming in to Australia. So like the Lebanese immigrants, you know, brought their kids over, and we sort of grew up with them, like the second generation, the kids of the Southern European migrants. And I'm from like a neighborhood that was like basically nothing but migrants. Like I think still today, like 60% of people who live there speak English as a second language, something like that.
Cool.
Just like the Italians, the Greeks, the Lebanese, the Iraqis, everyone just sort of fused together into like this one sort of amalgamation of a culture there. And I think like the best like example of that is like this absolutely horrible like early 2000s Australian comedy called Fat Pizza that everyone there loves. And like the lead actor is it's a Lebanese character, like who's like a ridiculous self-stereotype exaggeration of like the WOG, they called it, which is like this amalgamation of like all these immigrant groups that sort of grew up together in the same neighborhoods.
Okay.
And it's a Lebanese character played by a Maltese actor pretending to be Lebanese. And then like all the rest of the cast is basically the same situation, like a Greek playing a Turk, like stuff like that.
I love it.
And it's beautiful. It's fantastic. The show is horrible. It didn't age well, but like, you know, if anyone wants to like get a little piece of like, not just Lebanese culture in Australia, but like that sort of weird, like fusion of a bunch of different cultures of like kids who all grew up together in the same neighborhoods, and rather than hating each other, all sort of fused together into forming this one sort of identity. That is like what I would recommend. It has not aged well at all. When I watch it now, like it hurts, but at the time it was the greatest thing in the world.
So Fat Pizza is what it's called?
Yeah. There's clips on YouTube, but do not watch them. They're horrible.
I mean, based on what Ethan says about you, you seem like a completely just nice and chill dude to talk to. I mean, this has been a really nice conversation. It's been really nice to meet you. I mean, I genuinely, and thank you for just like commenting on the videos and checking them out and talking about the channel, because and talking about Lebanon and what's happening in Palestine and everything, because as you know, the mainstream media in the States is fucking crazy. The only voices, the only outlets have been online outlets and people like you, people on Twitter, basically. Like it's been extremely hopeless. And when the war started in Lebanon, like, dude, I thought we were gonna be next. Like, honestly, genuinely, part of me thought that they were gonna Gaza the whole fucking country. And the only reason I switched like to English was like, I just need to get the story out there. I just need to get the word out there, because it felt really desperate. So it's nice to have people like you, and you are so unabashedly anti-Israel that it's kind of like hilarious. Like, you're such an amazing troll. You've also been like a perfect foil for Ethan Klein. So if anything, I'm happy this crash out is happening, because it's giving people like you a bigger platform. And I love the fact that like the video, I think that they made you take that down. They took that down, but like the video game segment was like hilarious, because the point you made is so true. And I often like, you don't think about that. Every single NPC you kill in a Call of Duty game is either an Arab or like a Russian.
Yeah,
Americans are so desensitized. We are such garbage to them. We're literally just cannon fodder in their movies, in their video games, that if you just flip the script for 1 second, if you play as an Arab that shoots an Israeli soldier in a video game, it's enough for YouTube to just take down that video and for someone to call that anti-Semitic. Yet our people are subjected to the same stereotypic adaptations. It's just fun. It's just funny to see someone just not give a shit. And like, I'm always afraid of getting demonetized or getting someone in, or getting in trouble or something. So it's just kind of refreshing to have you being out there just screaming at the top of your lungs. And we appreciate you, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, YouTube is probably the best platform to be the way that I am, because YouTube is a truly international platform. You know, they don't really, you know, like Twitch, for example. The reason why Twitch could be pressured into doing what it did to the people on the infamous Sabra Hummus panel,
insane,
is because it's American. But
yeah.
Google is horrible as it is. It's an actual multinational company. They can't really be subject to, you know, pressure from one country to get a video or a channel taken down that much, because they just get in trouble with the other countries that they also operate in. So there's that, at least. You know, I've been like this forever. It's sadly only becoming people are sort of realizing that I was right all along now, but that's not really the most important thing here, is it? It's at least they're realizing it with what's the shit that's happening now, in that everyone needs to sort of close ranks and just get behind the people of Gaza, the people of Lebanon, the people of the Middle East. It is at least positive that, you know, people are feeling that they can open up more and more and more now, that like people are less afraid. I've still seen people who are like very guarded with the way they talk about this stuff, but more and more people feel like, you know, you're going to call me anti-Semitic? I don't give a fuck, man. Like, we're over it by now. We've seen what's happening in Gaza. Give us a fucking break.
Because it's especially Arabs. Like, we feel like we have to be overly polite when we talk about these things, especially when we're abroad in the States or in the West. Because if you start yelling, or if it's just like, oh, you don't want to be a stereotypical crazy, angry Arab, are you going to blow your... Like, you can't call Hamas a resistance force. You have to call them terrorists, or else you're automatically labeled anti-Semitic or a terrorist sympathizer. It's just you're just constantly walking on eggshells. But I think it's too late to be polite. There's no time to be polite anymore about this. Like, people are literally getting massacred every single second. So like, the time to be nice is over. We just need to call things out as they are. And I think that's important. One final question. Are you and Hassan doing okay? I know you guys had your beef back in the day. I know he's been reacting to your videos. I love Hassan. He reacted to a couple of our clips on the podcast, kind of helped out as well. So are you guys cool? Because I consider Hassan a friend of the show. Bad Empanada, you are a friend of the show. Are you guys cool? Are you cool with Hassan?
I mean, I never really had a beef with him. Like, I've criticized him a couple of times. I mean, the things that I criticize him on had nothing to do with politics, just to do with like lazy reactions where he gets off the chair. And that was like 2 years ago. I obviously don't care if he watches my videos now. I used to be like, come on, put some effort in, you know, don't watch my videos. But now it's like, I talk to him in private once, literally once. It's funny how Ethan like accuses everyone who doesn't like him of being like in cahoots. Yeah. Like he himself is ironically doing like anti-Semitic conspiracy theories against us. But like you know, I don't know Hassan. I just criticize him a couple of times, maybe once or twice on actual political issues, and the rest just on the reaction thing, and that's it. At this point, I don't give a shit if someone wants to react to my videos to get the word out about something, given everything that's happening in the world. There is definitely a problem of lazy ass react people on YouTube who just like play a clip and then laugh and then move on to another clip and stuff like that. But he's obviously not like that.
Yeah, no, he talks a fuckload. Bad Empanada, thank you so much, man, for taking the time. You are a friend of the podcast, a friend of Lebanon. If you ever come for a visit, I don't know if you ever need to come to Lebanon or the area. It might not be the safest time now, but if you ever do, you're more than welcome on the show.
Vince, I very much would like to go there and to go to the West Bank, but Israel would not let me in.
Yeah, you're not going to get into the West Bank, but we can get you in here.
Yeah.
So
at least that.
Would be nice. Have a great night, my man. This is going to come out soon, so we'll see you soon, and keep fighting the good fight.
You too. Thank you very much for having me on.
Well, folks, that was the episode. Thanks again for I've been talking to all the Bads. Bad Empanada, BadHasbara. It's been an eventful week. Thanks again to Bad Empanada for coming on the show. Super fun talking to him and getting to know him a little bit. He's a super sweet guy. I know his videos make him seem like aggressive or unhinged. He's a very sweet dude. We love him. Folks, let me just take a second to thank our lovely brand new patrons. Again, abductee patrons Saz and Daphne Morris. Blonde patrons John Ajaka, Haley Davis, and Koldu and Morgie. Superhero patron Bonnie Buns. And our brand new YouTube member Tangerine Karine. Thank you guys so much. If you guys want to support us, the best way to do so is on Patreon. It's the only way we can keep this show going. A small independent Lebanese YouTube channel operating in the middle of a war. So support us. Find the link in the... you can find the link in the description and pick a tier that's right for you. We will love you forever and appreciate you. I'm going to be organizing another Zoom call for all of our patrons, and we're going to shoot a short Patreon exclusive clip right now. And a quick thank you to a few other of our patrons like Enzo S., Karen's Cravings, Mariam Ayad, superhero patrons like Joey Daboul, Ryan Nabulsi, Elias Salibi, and our got-tier patrons Rifat Fakih, Ilya Al-Mujaber, Jessica Ann, Jack Sleeman, Sisu Hayek, Dominic Selzer, Tamara Isa. Fun little fact, if you guys want to watch me and Elijah smoke a cigarette, you got to tune into the Patreon video. Hey, that's all I'm saying. Hey. We love you guys. Thank you for watching. We hope to see you guys next week. And as always,
do not worry.